Just finishing up a 100% outside renovation project at the Catanic store. Don't miss out. Come and see us. Check out our Pennsylvania skill game room. We have the newest machines, the newest games. We have 5 machines. We're about to add a 6th machine. $10,000 jackpots on all 6 machines. Don't miss out on a chance to win. We have the lowest possible prices and the best quality of anybody in the area. We'll take it up against anybody in the area. We put our stamp of approval, hashtag Save on Meat, on every single package, and we're here to serve you every single day. We also have chef prepared, chef quality prepared sushi, everyday fresh, and Sushi Wednesday, $5 sushi rolls, and you can win by liking and sharing our favorite page, Sushi Madness shirt. Don't forget to check out our millions of bakery deli products that we're making fresh every day. Appreciate all the support out there. We can't do what we do without you. Come and see us.
And welcome into High Top Sports Network here on this first opening week of football season between the Armstrong Riverhawks and the Freeport Yellowjackets here in Freeport. My name is Joe Rhodes. Joining me tonight will be Wayne Greiser. Wayne, before we get into stuff, I'm going to send it right over to our pregame interviews. We'll have head coach Frank Fabian of the Riverhawks along with John Gaylott of the Yellowjackets, and after that, we will bring you our pregame, which is sponsored by Sprankle's Neighborhood Market.
Welcome to High Top Sports Network and the 2021 season's first edition of Hawk Talk here with Armstrong varsity head football coach Frank Fabian. And this is sponsored by Sprankle's Neighborhood Market, located at 151 North McCain Street in downtown Katanning. Hashtag Save on Meat. And Coach, getting into it here, just 2 days away from that season opener, down 28 at Freeport. What has shaken out over the past week since the last time I talked to you here at camp?
We're just getting prepared. I told the boys today. They're feeling a little bit sorry for themselves in this 90-degree heat. I told them it's just as hot down in Sarver. So I'm sure they're down there preparing. So we're just kind of into our normal game week routine, which is a welcome sight after 2 weeks of two-a-days. So guys are flying around. They feel fresh. We're trying to get them ready for Friday night and go down there and play a good ball game.
Yeah, I talked to you a little bit over the weekend at the tremendous fundraiser, Steaks on the Grill with the Friday Night Boys. It was a great time, second year in a row, and a tremendous fundraiser for your program. Talk to me a little bit about the scrimmage you guys had.
Yeah, we went up to Sharon. We've been going against them probably since the school was formed, so it's always a good scrimmage. Really good friends with the coach over the last couple years. I believe that we kind of look at that scrimmage the same way. So we went up there, a lot of good, some bad that we got to clean up. As far as the good, I felt like we were able to run the ball, which has been a welcome sight. The last 2 years, that's kind of been an area of weakness for us. So we got into some favorable looks, and we were able to run it. So that was a welcome sign. And then, Caden kind of picked up where he left off. He had 4 touchdown passes in the scrimmage. But the bright side of that was new kids, new receivers in the mix. Noah Shuttleworth caught 2 touchdown passes. John Yancey caught a touchdown pass. And I believe Connor Segola caught the other one. So it was nice to see those new receivers start to get acclimated against a very athletic Sharon team. So that was the bright side. As far as the negatives, probably our run defense. Sharon ran the ball on us quite a bit, and we gave up explosive plays. We played defense for, we were doing a series of 10s, and so, played good for 8 plays. And then, we had 1 or 2 where Sharon hit us with some explosive plays. So, we got an inexperienced secondary. It took some bad angles to the football, and, we're coaching it up now. We're trying to get it fixed for Friday night.
Yeah, how do you shore up that run defense? Has there been any adjustment? Oh, well, obviously there's been adjustment, but what have those adjustments been this week to kind of shore up that run defense?
Better angles to the ball. Cliche, football's blocking and tackling, and the older I get, I sound like one of those old crusty coaches that I used to hear when I played. But part of those long runs is we just took some bad angles to the football, and we're kind of working on our tracking drill, making sure we're tracking the inside hip, and just take a better angle and make sure we got to get that guy on the ground. It doesn't have to be a work of art. We just got to get him to the ground, and it's been an area of emphasis this week in practice.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to ask you, health-wise, how have you guys been getting through camp? I know Isaiah Brown's been struggling with the injury bug for quite a bit.
Yeah, that would probably be our one issue right now. Isaiah, he's doing some work with the physical therapist, trying to get ready. That's probably most likely going to be a game time decision, if he can go, and then we got to decide how much. Other than that, I think we came out of with one ankle on Saturday, and he rehabbed that. Dr. Olson, who's on our staff, got with him, and they've been doing some work, and he's practiced the last 2 days. So right now it's just Isaiah, and everybody else is ready to roll.
Give me the general feeling in the locker room right now. It's got to be a lot of excitement. The guys have gotten to go through a normal camp this year as compared to all the craziness last year in 2020. And they got to be ramping up in a normal fashion right now, so that excitement's got to be bubbling.
There's some juice around here. That's kind of the catchphrase we always use. It's game week. It's they're out of camp. But also, what I reminded our guys, the previous year we didn't have a lifting season. We weren't allowed around our guys. The school was closed. The YMCA obviously closed down. So, those guys have put in a lot of work since January, and I just keep reminding of them. We're here. This is why we're doing those things, to go down there and play a game. We've been working now since January, getting ready for this. So. We're going to go down there and give our best effort, and we just want to prepare, and we'll go down there and let the cards lie where they may, so to speak, but we want to make sure we did everything within our power to prepare, and that's kind of been the message this week.
Excellent. Well, thanks so much to Armstrong varsity head football coach Frank Fabian here on the inaugural edition of Hawk Talk in 2021, sponsored by Sprankle's Neighborhood Market. Welcome to High Top Sports Network. My name is Josh Renkengust, here with Freeport varsity head football coach John Gaylott for the inaugural edition of Jacket Chat here on HTSN. Coach, just want to get right into it. Since I spoke with you last week, what has shaken out in camp? Maybe some guys that have won positions where there were battles?
We have a couple injuries from last week, this past Saturday, but we have a sophomore that really showed that he could do some things, and with Pega, and I'm really excited to see how he plays. He's a nice-sized kid, and he's coming along pretty well.
Excellent. Talk to me a little bit about that scrimmage against Slippery Rock.
It's physical on both sides, and Slippery Rock's very well coached, and it's just the heat was the major factor, because by the time we started, it was about 10:30, close to 11 o'clock, and there's no wind or anything. Yeah. So it was the heat index. We had a couple kids going down with some heat problems and stuff. They had to go out early. So did they also. So other than that, I think both teams did very well. We were pretty much equal, and it was a good scrimmage.
Yeah, speaking of that heat, obviously this week has been really rough. Western Pennsylvania, muggy, disgusting weather. Tough to play football in with pads on. And Friday night's supposed to be sticky as well. Just talk to me about how you're keeping these guys hydrated and conditioned.
Just hydrated constantly, preaching to them. We get the bananas, everything we possibly can to help them, get it in their body. And the hardest thing is trying to teach kids you can't hydrate on the day of. Yeah. So you have to do it 3, 4, 5 days ahead. So, everybody says that they're doing it, so we'll find out on Friday.
Any pickle juice in that cooler?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like pickles.
Hey, Coach, talk to me a little bit about Garrett King getting out there. I know it was only a scrimmage, but, his first game action in a couple of years. Just talk to me about how you thought he adjusted.
I think he adjusted very well. There's, some of the things with, mechanics and stuff, and first game, jitters and things like that, but he ran the ball, lowered his shoulder, like a running back, and that was very, very well received, by us.
Coming into this week 0 season opener against Armstrong, obviously, they have a solid pass game. Talk to me a little bit about your pass defense. Where do you feel like you guys are with that?
It's going to be a very big challenge for us. The young man's very talented. He throws it, like when it first started, there was a couple kids from GCC a couple years in a row that they put it right on the money all the time. The Rumbargers down in South Fayette, those two boys, the same type. You can be man coverage and be all over the receiver, and he still finds a way to get it in. Watching the film there, he had two throws that were unbelievable, just threaded. So he's very talented. He's a gem, definitely, for Western Pennsylvania. You're going to see him playing someplace, in the future.
Talk to me a little bit about renewing kind of a rivalry with those Armstrong County schools. I know you coached against Frank whenever he was at Katanning.
Yes, Frank's a very good friend of ours, and I respect him highly. And it's not. Never thought it was really like a rival. It's just that we both want to beat each other. But great guy, great role model for his team.
Yeah, and an offensive-minded coach, and he's always tweaking stuff. From the years that I've been covering, you could see that he kind of tailors his offense around what he has. And with Caden this year, it's going to be throwing the ball. So that's why we were talking a little bit about that pass defense. But talk a little bit about your run game, because trying not to give too many of Coach Fabian's secrets away here, but he kind of thought that one of his areas that they needed to improve was run defense.
Yeah, I don't know. They look pretty stout on defense to us. With the 2 injuries right now, they're probably out, and definitely for a couple weeks. It hurts two 4-year starters for us. So, that hurts us with line and things going forward there. But we just got to improvise and make some changes in what we're doing to do, like our philosophy and stuff, to try to get as many yards as we possibly can.
we're down here in the Yellowjackets team room, and I look up there and I see the last section championship, 2015. And I know a lot of your guys, when I spoke to them last week, that's their goal. Their goal is even to go further, but the goal is obviously a section championship first.
Yeah, we always, our goal is always section title, and then the ultimate prize would be Heinz Field. You know, get there and get a win. We're 0-7 in the championship game, so you know, sooner or later it's going to happen, and you know, those are always our goals. You know, starting out, you know, we want to make playoffs, you know, win section championship, and then you know, go deep in the playoffs and maybe play for that, you know, WPIAL title. Definitely. And final question for you here, Coach. What is the energy like in this room right now? Those guys have to be chomping at the bit to get out there, having a normal, you know, a normal camp leading up to the season after all the craziness of last year. I just like how they hold each other accountable for a lot of the, you know, every play when we're out, even in practice. They're like, come on, you're dogging it, and the kids respond well. Very close group. You just have bad timing with the injuries right now. We should be able to get them back hopefully in 2 to 3 weeks. Excellent. Hey, best of luck this Friday night. Sadly, I won't be here. I'll be at Kiski Butler, but you can find Kiski Butler, Knox Central Valley, and of course Armstrong Freeport right here on High Top Sports Network. Thanks so much to Freeport varsity head coach John Gaylott. My name is Josh Reckengoss for High Top Sports Network.
Protecting the things you love and how you do so is among the most important decisions you'll ever have to make. TGIF Solutions can provide you with the peace of mind by supplying answers to all of your insurance needs, whether it be home, auto, business, life, or farm coverage. Contact the team at the Shellhammer Atwood Agency today in West Katanning to be sure that you, your loved ones, and the things that matter most stay safe when it matters the most. TGIF Solutions, insurance for what matters. And welcome back to High Top Sports Network here for the Sprankles Neighborhood Market pregame show, sponsored by Sprankles Neighborhood Market of Katanning. Shout out to Sprankles. Hashtag save on meat. My name is Joe Rhodes. Next to me is Wayne Greiser here for this non-conference WPIAL matchup between the Armstrong Riverhawks and the Freeport Yellowjackets. Right there, you had a chance to hear from both coaches giving their thoughts the last few days about this contest. Both teams coming off a scrimmage on Saturday, Wayne. We discussed that a little bit before we came on the air. Armstrong taking on Sharon. I've talked to head coach Frank Fabian about that, and some things his takeaways were. The biggest one is Caden Olson picking up right where he left off. And if we're going to talk about quarterbacks, we have to talk about King on the other side too, Wayne, coming back from a triumphant battle with cancer. So I think we're going to see two quarterbacks square off, and I think that's the number one storyline as we enter this week 0 contest.
I agree wholeheartedly. I think, you know, big thing is seeing Caden, can he repeat what he did last year? And then Garrett having a whole year off, and how is he going to respond this year with getting that action for senior season?
And then, of course, last year when King was out, Ben Lane kind of filled in for him a little bit at the quarterback position. Probably not his natural position, but an athlete able to kind of step in and fill that role when called upon. During that season, he threw for 769 passing yards, 7 touchdowns, and then also ran for 348 yards on the ground with 6 touchdowns there as well. So I think King's re-entry is good, not just for the entirety of the Yellowjackets, but also for Ben Lane. It's going to allow him to maybe get comfortable and do what he's more accustomed to do, I think.
I agree. He's able to move to his natural positions and get the ball in his hands in a variety of ways, and I think that's going to be a big thing for him this year. You know, it's just that variety. It's not the ball's being snapped right to him and all eyes are right on him. He can motion, do different things, and be in different spots, and use him as a weapon that he is.
And some of the things that the big takeaways, I think, from both teams' scrimmage on that Saturday we spoke of, Armstrong coming kind of out unscathed. There was only one person that Coach Fabian said was questionable coming into this contest, and that was Isaiah Brown. It looks like we're going to see him here tonight. We saw him warming up prior to the game, Wayne. But for the the Yellowjackets, not as fortunate with the injury bug in Saturday's scrimmage. They took on Slippery Rock in that particular contest, coming out with a couple injuries that are going to sideline some guys tonight, maybe a couple weeks down the road. So maybe another storyline here tonight. Does Freeport overcome some of those injuries to key places? And are they able to sort of keep this air raid attack of Armstrong in check despite missing some key guys?
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting. I mean, even without the injuries, you always wonder what things are going to look like in week 0. So looking forward to it, see how everybody reacts, responds. You know, we talked about pregame, Armstrong coming in with trying to find new wide receivers, so that'll be a big question mark we're going to look at too for the Armstrong side of the ball. Yeah, they got Caden back, but different guys catching the ball, so we'll see how that works out for them too.
And that's an excellent point, Wayne. I think there were so many veteran guys that were able to help Caden Olson in his first year as a starter a season ago as a sophomore, and now he's got to take maybe a little more responsibility, maybe more of a leadership role than he had taken last year, especially now that a lot of those guys, as you mentioned, have departed, one of which, Cole Brown, he is now playing at Clarion University. His younger brother, Isaiah, though, on the other hand, as we spoke of earlier, is one of those key guys that I think the Riverhawks are really expecting to step in and contribute and almost fill the role that his older brother did a season ago. So that's a key guy, I think, for them as well. Noah Shuttleworth, a young man who caught 2 touchdown passes in that scrimmage on Saturday against Sharon. Another guy that I think is shifty. He's quick, a good route runner, but we're going to have to see him hold on to the ball. Noah kind of suffered from some drops a season ago, so that's going to be really big for him. And here's the thing, and you know this as a coach yourself, Wayne, it's good to get off to a good start like that. And somebody like Noah build some confidence early on in the season and also know that your quarterback kind of believes in you as well.
Definitely. You know, and on the Freeport side, they return a lot of their weapons, so it'll be interesting to see how they do versus the Armstrong defense too. They got a lot of guys back in the skill positions. They got lots of reps last year during their season, so it'll be a good experience for both teams. It's great to see fans actually in the stands this year to start the game or the season, and nice local rivalry that maybe hope starts up. And you know, it's nice to play some local teams instead of traveling hour and a half, 2 hours to just get an exhibition game. So it's nice to see this too.
And we joked before the broadcast as well that for two teams that have never played each other, they probably know each other better than most in that situation. Katanning and Ford City obviously combining to make Armstrong, both teams playing Freeport often. You know that, being a Freeport guy, playing sports at Freeport yourself. Not having a chance to play Armstrong that much in football because of the difference in size and section, but after Armstrong's been here since 2015, finally the first matchup between these two teams. Don't want to call it necessarily a rivalry, Wayne, but a little bit of a nice Route 28 little trip for these two teams. I'm sure a lot of these guys know a lot about each other living in such close proximity.
Definitely. You know, guys do some 7-on-7 together, some AAU basketball, baseball, things like that. So they play against each other, and they know who each other are. They get up Saturday mornings and read the newspapers and the clippings and know who's who on each team. So they're friendly. It'll be a nice little rivalry, and looking forward to it.
And tonight also the kickoff of the 100th season of football here at Freeport, Wayne. A great tradition, over 500 record in those contests. So certainly a historic program here at Freeport, and they would like nothing more than to get off to the on the right foot and be able to take down the Riverhawks here on their home field. So we're going to take one more quick break here on the Sprankles Neighborhood Market pregame to get a couple messages to you, and then we'll be back to wrap up the pregame and kick things off here between the Riverhawks of Armstrong and the Yellowjackets of Freeport. For Wayne Greiser, my name is Joe Rhodes. We'll be right back here on High Top Sports Network.
With over 40 years of experience, the fine folks at Steffi's Country Catering in Adrian can provide you with several scrumptious options for your next family gathering, corporate event, or tailgate. Make sure to try one of their custom meat and cheese trays or pick up a delicious Sunday takeout special. Steffi's Country Catering is a Leader Times Silver Best of winner 3 years running. And as the holidays approach, get back to celebrating with friends and family and leave the cooking to Steffi's. Sugar Rush Cupcakes by Tara are available by order. That's Steffi's Country Catering. Find them on Facebook.
Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop is the official clother of High Top Sports Network and is a family-owned company that can handle all your custom embroidery, custom sign, and laser engraving needs. Located at 409 4th Street in downtown Fort City, Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop can create sports and career apparel to the exact specifications of your organization. Their laser engraving department can put your logo or design on glasses, tumblers, insulated cups, signs, coffee cups, and more. Call Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop at 724-763-2461 today.
And welcome back to Freeport High School. I'm about to kick things off. 5 minutes and 20 seconds. The clock reads until we get things started. Before then, we are going to stop for the national anthem performed by a very large, well-sized Freeport marching band here. So we're going to send it on over to them for the Star Spangled Banner. And what a wonderful rendition of the Star Spangled Banner there by the Freeport Marching Band. Wayne, before we get things started here for before kickoff, I'm going to ask you, you're probably more of the, I don't want to say the Freeport guy, but you know maybe more about the Freeport team than I do, and I'll say maybe I know a little bit more about Armstrong, covering them as much as I did a season ago. What do the Yellowjackets have to do tonight, do you think, to be successful against this Armstrong team?
I think they need to apply pressure to Caden. They can't let him sit back there and dictate things on the offensive side. Put pressure on him to force those wide receivers that we talked about that they're looking for to step up. If they pressure him, he can't sit back there and just pick them apart and make it easy for those new wide receivers. So if we put a little pressure on him, I think that's going to be good. Offensively, I think they need to control the ball a little bit just to keep Caden off the field and keep the defensive guys fresh. It's a warm, humid night out there, so you don't want guys out in the field super long. So I think that would be a big thing and a factor, I think, too. And looking at ways to get Ben Lane the ball. How are they going to get him the ball? Teams focus on him, so how are they going to do different things? So it'll be interesting to see those type of things.
Yeah, and I think on the side of the Riverhawks, I think that they have to establish a run game. We know that Caden Olson is capable of taking over a game himself, but I think that this team and this program has been really predicated on the run up until really last year, and that's one thing that head coach Frank Fabian really said in our pregame interview that he wants to reestablish, and he has Connor Segola, who's going to be coming back this season, and that's going to be a guy I think they lean on, and they really want to get going so that they don't have to lean on Caden Olson so much, and they can find a nice balance that can really help them in some of the other games and the section games that are upcoming. So I think for the Riverhawks offensively, you know what Caden Olson, and you know what you're going to get from him, but you want to see them establish that run game and find a nice balance because most teams that can find that balance are going to have a successful night. I think defensively for the Riverhawks, it's quite simple. You have to contain Ben Lane in their scrimmage against Sharon. Some big plays happen against them in the run game, so I think really that's going to be a big focus. Coach Fabian said that's going to be a big focus of theirs tonight is really containment in the run game. And of course, that's going to be Ben Lane. And keeping him in check, I think, is the biggest factor for the Riverhawks defense in this Week 0 contest.
Definitely. Looking forward to it.
So the Riverhawks have taken the field, still waiting for Freeport. They have yet to enter. Going to make a nice late appearance here with 33 seconds left on the pregame clock. And
we have a long walk down from the locker room up at the school. So.
Probably tough on a hot day like this too, huh, Wayne?
Definitely.
A lot of conditioning, and what you'll notice here tonight, I want to mention this very quickly, the last moments of our Sprankles Neighborhood Market pregame is you're going to notice these awesome threads on the Yellowjackets tonight, and Wayne, that of course was a part of the Make-A-Wish program, Nike helping the Yellowjackets program with Garrett King. He got to pick these uniforms and help design them, and what a cool thing. And Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers also a big part of that as well, so kudos to those organizations, and kudos to the young man for creating such a cool-looking uniform here, Wayne.
Yeah, pretty neat. He's got the crown on it with the king. Like, that's pretty neat, too. So definitely very thoughtful of him thinking about his teammates, too. Not just, a lot of people do, when they do the Make-A-Wish type thing, they do something focused on them, and he did something for his entire team. So that's shows you what kind of young man Garrett is, too.
And I would be remiss not to speak of him a little bit more. You have to imagine what he's feeling right now, the jitters, probably the excitement, and all the things after missing a whole season. And from a very important position, we know that quarterbacks are so important in football, maybe the most important position in all of sports. And for that young man to have to sit out a year and finally get back here and get to enjoy his senior season, it is tremendous. Hats off to him. Hats off to the school district for being so supportive of him through his fight with cancer. And may he have a great game out there tonight, getting back out there. May he enjoy it, and I'm excited for him.
Oh, definitely. It's neat taking a look over here at the student body for Freeport. They've all got the Burger King crowns on in support of
Wonder where they got
too.
those.
So,
I think there's a Burger King close, huh?
Pretty neat, yeah, right across the street. So it's neat to see that as well. So watching the captains go out here, get things started on a Friday night. First match at Armstrong and Freeport, kind of interesting. But so lucky to be a part of some of those. Coach Fabian was actually the quarterback for Ford City when I was playing too. So neat little intertwine there.
Went on to coach his rival at Katanning, of course, which is an interesting part of that whole dynamic there as well.
Definitely.
You see some crossover. Harry Beckwith, a famous coach from Katanning, coached Ford City as well back in his time. So you can play both sides, I guess.
Oh, definitely.
So the captains are meeting. Looks like I didn't hear what public address announcer Eric Westendorf said there. I think he mentioned who did get it. I'm not sure, though. But we will see here eventually. But that will conclude the pregame show. Thank you for tuning into the Sprankles Neighborhood Market. Now the opening kickoff upcoming, and that is sponsored by the Belmont Complex. The Belmont Complex wants to remind folks out there that Little Pens program has been extended until September 9th for ages 5 through 9. So if you're trying to get your young one, your little one, into some hockey and a great program that's regional wide and a great thing put on by the Pittsburgh Penguins, make sure you go to the Belmont website. Check that out. Little Pens for ages 5 through 9 extended to September 9th. Check that out today again at the Belmont website, tonight's kickoff sponsor. Beautiful night, a little humid. It's been kind of that way for the last couple weeks here, Wayne, but As the sun goes down, it's probably going to provide some excellent conditions to play. Still probably a little humid. Guys are going to have to stay hydrated, but a beautiful night for football. We know that these are not normal, as most of the season takes place in the latter days of the fall. So as much as it is warm up here, we're going to eat this up a little bit because we know that the snowy, dark days are coming.
Oh, definitely. It looks like Freeport is going to receive the opening kickoff of the 100th year of Freeport football.
It'll be Tanner Stockdill kicking off for the Riverhawks, a member of the soccer team for the Riverhawks as well. We got to catch him last year in action, taking over for Adam Hudock. Hudock, of course, graduating. He, too, was a kicker on the football team and played soccer, so a repeat of that again this year with Stockdill. He'll kick off. Deep for the Jackets will be number 9, Lucas Parker, and, of course, number 2, Ben Lane, and I think just short of that is Vinnie Clark wearing number 7. Those will be the 3 deep men. And as Wayne said, this kickoff will start the 100th season of football here at Freeport. And Vinnie Cook gets it, breaks one tackle, cuts outside, makes someone miss, steps out of bounds, at the 25-yard line, and that is where Garrett King and the Yellowjackets will take over on the opening drive of this one.
Yeah. Kickoffs, punts, special team type things, those are the ones that normally you'll see a big play possibly early on in the year just because you don't get to rep that much live type thing. So I'm sure Armstrong's happy to get the tackle there and set up their defense.
And with so many limitations last year, you wonder how much these guys, how better they feel going into this season with some more preparation, obviously with COVID restrictions being lifted. King in the shotgun, man in motion, that's Lane. He'll get the handoff on the end around. He's going to cut outside, make a man miss, head towards the corner, make another man miss, and he's dragged out of bounds at the 41-yard line. Nice first play of the game for the Yellowjackets. Fresh set of downs at the 41-yard line.
Yep, got him in motion, moving, quick handoff, right around the edge. Good job blocking up front there. Get him on the edge, and nice run by Lane.
So 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. One play in already, and a nice 16-yard gain for Ben Lane on the end-around handoff. Here's a snap, pitch outside. This one going the opposite way this time. That's number 1, Zach Clark. He gets the edge, and he gets up to across midfield at the 45-yard line, and that's where the Yellowjackets will have yet another first down. So 2 plays, 2 first downs so far for the Freeport offense.
Yeah, you got to credit the guys up front there, doing a good job, sealing there, and Zach just breaking to the outside and putting his head down and running a guy over. He was in the quarterback mix a little bit last year too when Garrett was out, so good to see him too. A little official timeout it looks like.
It is indeed. Just a quick message there is Coach Gaylott making his way out there, telling his offense, giving them some instructions rather. So 2 nice plays. What did you see there, Wayne? Looks like both sides of the field, regardless which way they went, they were able to kind of do what they wanted there on those.
Yeah, it looks like Freeport wants to use their speed and get to the outside and take advantage of it. So, we've gone each way. So we'll look forward to seeing that. We'll see. We talked about some injuries. 56 for Freeport. Bear Freeman, he's a 4-year starter. He's out this week on the line, so they had to do some juggling around. So good to see the guys up front there making plays.
So King will remain in the shotgun. He's going to pitch this one out to the right. This is Clark again. He's going to cut back to the middle. He's going to look outside but go middle again. Breaks a couple tackles, and he's down at the 25. Freeport using this run game for 3 consecutive plays, getting 3 consecutive first downs, and they are in Armstrong territory at the 26-yard line.
He's going to take a break. Brady Stuyvesant entering the game now. That was a great run there for Zachy. Being a former quarterback and point guard on the basketball team, he's got that vision. He sees a lot of things and made some great cuts there.
And another whistle here again. See what this one is. The line judge blowing it dead quickly. Something with the clock, I do believe. Freeport's run game certainly having its way here through the first possession, every play yielding a first down. And not just one player. We saw Zach Clark there. We saw Ben Lane do it. Doesn't matter who's carrying the ball right now for Freeport. They are effective on the ground.
Looks like it's a clock issue is what we've got to hold here.
We can't blame this on public address announcer Eric Westendorf next to us.
We can't.
Oh.
But he did just call for the athletic director, Sean Stuyvesant, to come up. I think they were saying the clock is running up instead of running down, so it might cause interesting issue.
I mean, hard one to play there. Well, while they're trying to sort that out, we're going to take a quick break here on High Top Sports Network, sponsored proudly by Sprangle's Neighborhood Market. Hashtag Save on Meat. We'll be right back.
Douglas Insurance Services, located in Sarver next to Freeport High School, is an independent insurance agency, which means they've made available some of their best companies for your online quick quotes. Douglas Insurance Services offers personal insurance coverages to their clients in Pennsylvania, including individual annuities, boat and watercraft, auto, condo, and flood insurance. Call them today at 1-800-722-9990. Douglas Insurance Services, a proud sponsor of Freeport Athletics.
And welcome back. I believe things are sorted out here. Oh, they're going to keep the time on the field. Wayne, you called that as we went into commercials. So for folks out there, don't pay attention to our clock there in the right-hand corner. They're going to keep it on the field. There's another jet sweep outside. Lane hit hard. Flag coming in. That's Shuttleworth coming in low. He's not sure what that flag was about. Might have been a hold maybe, but a nice tackle by Shuttleworth there, wrapping up Ben Lane, bring up second down.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think Cole Charlton might have got caught there on the end, the tight end position, with a little hold on the end for Armstrong, or whoever the end was for Armstrong, I should say.
Yeah, that will go against the Yellowjackets. Yeah, it's going to be a holding call, as you said there, Wayne, and really the first thing that the Yellowjackets have done wrong on this opening drive offensively.
Yeah, it's a learning experience, so we'll see how it goes.
The Jackets keeping it on the ground thus far. All of their plays on the ground. Yet to see King air it out.
Speaking of Charlton and Clarion, you were talking about Isaiah Brown's older brother, Cole, going to Clarion playing. Cole Charlton's older brother, Matt, is a offensive starting lineman for the Clarion football team as well, from Freeport.
I do remember that now. I remember Matt, a good baseball player as well.
Yes, he was.
So that'll bring up a 1st and 25. Rolling opposite is King. Throws across his body. Tough throw. Looks like somebody got a hand on it. The intended receiver was number 5. That was Brady Stuyvesant, incomplete. So the first pass attempt by the Yellowjackets. A difficult throw there across his body for King, trying to hook up with Stuyvesant, but unable to do so. That'll bring up a 2nd and 25.
Yeah, like you said, hard rolling to your left when you're a right-handed quarterback to turn back and throw the ball. So got a little under it, overthrew the receiver there, but like you said, 2nd and 25, so we'll see what the Jackets can dial up on offense.
10:59 remaining here. If that clock is accurate, not sure, but they're keeping it down on the field one way or another. Here's a throw outside, quick, a little screen. I don't know if he had control. They're going to wave that one. They're going to say that. Nope. So conflicting responses from the referees there. The lead judge waved it down, and the other guy waved it incomplete. So I think they're going to say that one is incomplete. That'll bring up 3rd and 25.
It actually looks like they backed up the yardage stick, so I think they're calling it complete, and he was down before he fumbled it.
Wow, so going backwards after a nice start are the Yellowjackets at 3rd and 25 at the 42. They were down to the, I believe, 21 or 26, if I'm not mistaken. So Armstrong's defense able to kind of clamp down, but also notice that part of that has been 2 pass plays by the Yellowjackets in that span.
So it's 3rd and 30.
Yeah, Garrett King's going to air this one out down the sideline. Almost a little push-off, but no call there, out of the hands of Cole Charlton, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Little hand battle there between the receiver and the defensive back, and Cole almost made a nice over the shoulder catch. Perfect placement on the ball there, the pass. Couldn't ask for a better pass there. So it looks like the Jackets are going to line up to punt on 4th down.
It does look like that is the case. And back deep for the Riverhawks will be Shuttleworth and also number 6. That, of course, is Jackson Chrisman. The punter for the Yellowjackets is Vinnie Clark. This one is a dandy. Shuttleworth lets that one go, and that's going to be downed. Oh, picked up by Shuttleworth. Nice move there by that young man, able to pick up at least 6 or 7 yards on a ball that would have been just down there. So the Riverhawks now will take over for their first offensive possession at the 16-yard line.
Sophomore Colton Otterman, number 26, with the tackle there on the special teams play for the Jackets. Colton got a chance to play a lot last year as a freshman with some injuries. They're expecting some big things from him on the defensive side of the ball, line up on the outside and putting some pressure on it.
While we have a chance, I want to say that Ryan Bowser State Farm in Ford City wants you to know that they can buckle up with State Farm to find auto insurance that fits you and your family's needs. Agent Ryan Bowser can assist you and yours with all your insurance needs. Stop in there today. Quick out are the Riverhawks. Olsen in the shotgun. Fake handoff here. Screen thrown right into the hands of Segola, but wrapped up immediately by number 32. That is Jacob Bollinger.
Good job reading the screenplay by Bollinger and staying at home and making the tackle right away.
That is Caleb Retzer with the catch. No gain. Brings up, well, they're going to say he went back a yard. Not sure there, but sets up 2nd and 11. Olsen remains in the shotgun. 2 receivers to his right. Instead, he hands it off again, or for the first time, excuse me. Brought down. This is Jackson Reiser. Or excuse me, not Jackson Reiser. That's Caleb Retzer.
Tackled by Jackson Reiser, though. 22 on 22 action there.
And he gets out to about the 24-yard line. That'll bring up a 3rd and 4. Clock continues to roll here in the first quarter. Scoreless. Armstrong with its first offensive drive of this game. 4 receivers, 3 to the top, 1 to the bottom. Olsen looking bottom. Now he's going to turn, look right. Horse collar looking tackle there, but brought down. Olsen's going to be close to a first down and a late flag, so they saw what I saw there, and that's probably going to tack on an extra 15 yards after the probably about a 6-yard scamper there by Caden Olsen.
Yeah, it looks like the spot gave him the first down, and then they're going to, like you said, add the horse collar penalty on the Jackets defense.
There's a lot of Ben Roethlisberger, young Ben Roethlisberger, and a Caden Olsen. You see him kind of survey. He wants to stay in the pocket. He wants to find that throw, but he's willing to kind of tuck and run and use those long strides, as you saw there, to pick up yards quickly. And he's such a big kid. Whoever was trying to tackle him there, I didn't catch the number, sort of had to kind of reach high just to try to bring him down. So, you know, Caden Olsen's not going to run an extremely fast 40, but he's got such long strides that he can cover ground quickly and cause the defense problems, not just with his arms, but with his feet. And you saw that right there. So now the Riverhawks, after the penalty at the 42-yard line, fresh set of downs. Here's a handoff. Going left is Retzer, but he is wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage, and they'll set up a 2nd and long.
Nice tackle by senior, number 11, Andrew Sullivan. He's looking for a bounce-back year this year for Freeport. He missed a lot of last year's junior season with a hip injury. So that's where Colton Otterman got his reps in position-wise last year. And Andrew is actually stepping in for fellow senior Billy Lyons, who's out with an injury sustained in a car accident during the summer. So they moved Andrew into the middle there to fill in for Billy, who was their top tackler from a year ago.
2nd and 13. Olsen in the gun, 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom. Joining him in the background is Retzer. Fakes the handoff. He's going to look, but he is brought down trying to throw that one. He still might have gotten it away. They're going to say he did, I do believe. John Gaylott, Freeport head coach, pleading for an intentional grounding, but to no avail. That'll bring up 3rd and 13.
That's the benefit of a big, strong quarterback there, being able to fight off 2 guys to somehow get it towards number 5, Isaiah Brown, kind of in the area, so it wasn't an intentional grounding. He saved loss of yards there on the sack. And Freeport jumps before we can get another playoff, so that'll give Armstrong 5 free ones.
Yeah, hard snap call there by Olsen, getting the Yellowjackets to jump, as you said there, Wayne. And last couple plays, the Yellowjackets forfeiting yards by penalty. Saw that horse collar a moment ago, and now that encroachment call. So now the Riverhawks with a 3rd and 7 at their own 45-yard line. Olsen again in the gun. He's going to look, steps up in the pocket. He's hit on the play, so no time there for Caden Olsen. Great pass rush by the Yellowjackets, and that will bring up 4th down.
That was number 6, Cole Charlton with the pressure. Good job coming off the right edge there. So looks like Armstrong bringing out the punting team.
So both teams unable to convert on their first drives of this game. And, you know, I have to point out, Wayne, credit to the Freeport pass rush. Every time that Caden Olsen was trying to drop back and pass, not a lot of time to do so. He was able to kind of maneuver through the pocket, step up when that pressure was kind of getting pushed back. But still, the Yellowjackets swarming, not to be, no pun intended, but swarming on Caden Olsen and able to keep him in check.
Looks like Armstrong's got to use a timeout here to get set up for the punt team.
And we're going to use a timeout here on High Top Sports Network on this Sprankles Neighborhood Market game night here at Freeport High School between the Armstrong Riverhawks and Yellowjackets. We'll be right back.
Protecting the things you love and how you do so is among the most important decisions you'll ever have to make. TGIF Solutions can provide you with the peace of mind by supplying answers to all of your insurance needs, whether it be home, auto, business, life, or farm coverage. Contact the team at the Shellhammer Atwood Agency today in West Katanning to be sure that you, your loved ones, and the things that matter most stay safe when it matters the most. TGIF Solutions, insurance for what matters.
And welcome back to High Top Sports Network. The Riverhawks about to punt here after their first offensive possession. Good pass rush by the Yellowjackets after a couple nice runs. Riverhawks started that drive with some runs and then kind of got away from it. And they will punt. This is Vinnie Clark. He catches this one. Cuts to the near side of the field, trying to cut it back. Runs into his own teammate. Another flag on the field. And another flag on the field. And Clark brought down around the 26, 27-yard line. And that's where the Yellowjackets will take over.
Sometimes, you know, that's what happens. Guys making a couple cuts and guys not expecting somebody to turn the other way, gets caught like that. I think the most impressive thing was the referee just throwing that flag 25 yards. Was the most impressive part of that.
Yeah, I think I buried the lead just saying the flag was thrown. It was thrown further than I think any football's been thrown here tonight. I actually would definitely say it was.
Yes, it was pretty impressive.
Oh, man, arm talent all over the place here tonight, even in the Zebras.
Looks like 2 fouls on Freeport. Block in the back was declined, and a blindside block.
Looks like they'll take the second of those two, Wayne, you mentioned there, and that'll pin the Yellowjackets deep in their own territory. So they're going to spot that at the 13-yard line, and that's where Garrett King and the Freeport offense will take over for the second time today. Some nice runs to begin their last drive. The first 3 carries all going for 10 yards or more, getting a fresh set of downs each time. And then the Riverhawks able to kind of stall that drive. King's first play, bobbles the snap, hands it off up the middle, and the Armstrong defense there to wrap up the ball carrier. I do believe that was Ben Lane. It is indeed. Not sure. Well, we're going to say he just barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a loss of 1 there. Bring up second down. So will be a loss of 1. Bobbled snap, able to hand it off to the tailback, but the penetration of the Armstrong front there, too much. So now 2nd and 11. Ball at the 13. King's going to roll out to his right, throw on the run, throw it in a spot. That one is almost picked off by number 15, Jack Valasek. But a little bit of contact there right when it reached his hands, able to kind of jar it loose. Catching a break there were the Yellowjackets. That could have been a big swinging of momentum there in favor of the Riverhawks.
Definitely. Nice play by the wide receiver to just, like you said, almost turn to a defensive back and knock it down away from the defender trying to intercept it there.
Jack Valasek, known certainly for his skill on the basketball court, showing off a little bit of his skill now on the football field here for the Riverhawks in the secondary. And that's one thing that head coach Frank Fabian did say. This is a young secondary for the Riverhawks. They're going to have to gel quickly.
Timeout, Freeport.
And so with that, we too will take a timeout here on High Top Sports Network in this production of high school football between the Freeport Yellowjackets and the Armstrong Riverhawks on this Sprankles Neighborhood Market game night for Wayne Greiser. My name is Joe Rhodes. We'll be right back here in a jiff.
Just finishing up a 100% outside renovation project at Containing Store. Don't miss out. Come and see us. Check out our Pennsylvania skill game room. We have the newest machines, the newest games. We have 5 machines. We're about to add a 6th machine. $10,000 jackpots on all 6 machines. Don't miss out on a chance to win. We have the lowest possible prices and the best quality of anybody in the area. We'll take it up against anybody in the area. We put our stamp of approval, #SableMeat, on every single package, and we're here to serve you every single day. We also have chef-prepared, chef-prepared sushi, everyday fresh, and Sushi Wednesday, $5 sushi rolls, and you can win by liking and sharing our favorite page, Sushi.
Sorry to cut our buddy Ryan Sprankle off there, but back to the action here. Pitch outside to Ben Lane, stutter step, knocked out of bounds around the 25-yard line. That's where bring up a new set of downs for Freeport, getting back to what they started this game with, some nice runs to the outside for some yardage there. Another case of that.
I actually think they cut him out about the 21, so he's going to be short, it looks like.
Ooh.
Cause a 4th down. 4th and 3, 2? 4th and 2.
They're going to say 4th and 2. Yeah, it looked like he kept running. It didn't really look like they marked him out or blew the play dead, but instead they will punt. So a nice observation there. Wayne back to punt for the Yellowjackets will be Vinnie Clark again. Back for the Riverhawks is Shuttleworth. There's one hopper gathered in. Nice play there. Might have been tipped. This one's going to just keep on rolling, and a nice lucky bounce down to about the 41 or 42-yard line for Vinnie Clark, and that's where Caden Olson and the Armstrong offense will begin when we come back here on High Top Sports Network on this Sprankles Neighborhood Market game night on HTSN.
Shop and Save at Franklin Village is a family-owned
Just finishing.
And sorry for that. Our audio went down on us there momentarily. It'll bring up a 3rd and 7. Olsen in the gun. 3 receivers at the bottom of the screen. He'll roll that direction. Look that way. The pass rush on him again. This ball high over the head of Shuttleworth. And incomplete. So I'll bring up 4th down once again. Give credit once again to Freeport, able to get some pressure on the Armstrong signal caller and not give him really enough time or really any time to get his feet set.
Yeah, 22, Jackson Reiser with the pressure. Looks like we've got an injury.
That's cramps.
Cramps.
We called that one before this.
We did. We said warm night. We're sure we'll see some of that. See some guys taking a knee. Can't rep this stuff in practice. You know, you look at the Armstrong guys, they definitely have some more in the numbers wise than Freeport, so it's hard to get those reps.
Just a quick score update for the folks out there. Jake DeLuca, who is calling the Knox Central Valley game, that one is scoreless at the end of the first, so the Knights able to keep that one competitive against the defending state runner-up, Central Valley. So good one going on there. Make sure to give you an update on the Butler-Kiski game that Josh Schreckengost and the high top team is at tonight as well.
Looks like we've got 5 Brady Stevenson and 7 Vinnie Clark back for the Jackets to return this Armstrong punt.
Punt gets down. That was number 6, Jackson Chrisman. Caught at about the 10-yard line. Going to try to go opposite side here. There's some room. And he's going to get up to about the 25-yard line where he is wrapped up and drug out of bounds. And that's where the Yellowjackets were going to take over, but a flag, more laundry on the field. We'll see what this one is.
Another thing you notice early on week 0 games, lots of yellow laundry on the field.
You know, it's funny you bring that up, too. We mentioned that a lot last year, and I think last year that was really a byproduct of the lack of practice and the lack of preparation that was provided by COVID. But still, you know, you're going to see a lot of that, not just even this week, but probably next week as well. You know, as these guys get acclimated to game action, it's really hard to kind of, as you said, simulate this kind of atmosphere, this kind of play. And so mistakes are probably going to be a little more frequent here in week 0 than you would expect as we get into the later games of the 2021 WPIAL football season.
Right, especially special teams. Like I said, you don't get many of those live reps. Even in the scrimmage last week, you don't. Normally, it's like live kick, and then they kind of don't go live after that on return. So these are the first live returns probably some of these teams are seeing this week. So definitely one thing you can take advantage of.
So 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Yellowjackets looking to extend a drive. They were down in Armstrong territory pretty deep. Then consecutive penalties kind of drove them back and ended that series. And there is King trying to throw a little looper over the head of number 2, Connor Segola, but incomplete. The intended receiver was number 6, Cole Charlton.
I think they were trying to get Ben Lane out there on the swing out there.
I apologize. That was Ben Lane. Armstrong defense doing a good job there to keep their eye on the man coming out of the backfield there, not let him get on a little wheel route. Looked like that's what that might have been developing into. Instead, it'll be 2nd down and 10. Ball remains at the 13-yard line.
Big test here for the Freeport offensive line. 3 new starters with Bear being injured. They got to replace some guys, and Ethan Lisinski and Peyton Westendorf already getting their first starts at tackle.
Bobbled snap there. King unable to do anything with it. He thought of maybe shoveling it back to the halfback behind him, but instead just holds on to that one. He's dropped for a loss down to about the 9-yard line, so a 4-yard loss there. We've seen a couple bobbled snaps tonight on the Freeport side there, so something to kind of watch as this game goes on.
Right. I'm not sure if Logan Jędrzejewski was the center prior to this week or if that was where Bear was playing, but I know either one of them is replacing a 4-year starter in Logan Mankey at center. So new center no matter which one it is, so it looks like they're taking a little bit of time to adjust to that as well. And I'm sure it's slippery, getting super hot. We're just calling a timeout for water.
Hydration purposes, that's new. You don't see that one too often.
The water boy will be happy about that.
And we are too, because it gives us an opportunity to share the message of a couple wonderful sponsors. And with that, we will do that here on High Top Sports Network on this Sprankles Neighborhood Market game night with the Riverhawks visiting the Yellowjackets, both teams scoreless with 3:48 left in the first quarter. So a quick break there. We thought we were going to have a little bit more time, but not the case. 3rd and 10, ball at the 9. Clock continues to roll here in the first quarter. Penalties a part of the story so far. That along with the Freeport pass rush really not letting Armstrong get anything going. But speaking of pass rushes right there, brought down by number 6, the punter, but also the pass rusher Jackson Chrisman, able to bring King down there for another loss. And undoubtedly now the Yellowjackets will be forced to punt here on 4th down and about 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter.
Another low snap started that play, and then lots of pressure off the edge. Didn't really give King much time at all to do anything with it. Vinnie Clark dropping back the punt. Looks like his heels will be on the end line of the end zone. The Armstrong returners are on their side of the 50, so.
Yeah, that will be Shuttleworth again. Oh, excuse me, I apologize. Wayne, that'll be Shuttleworth and Chrisman. Good punt by Clark. Shuttleworth gets it, moves to his left. Nice block there by Chrisman. Shuttleworth just trying to get the edge, and then tripped a little bit out of bounds there by number 53, Aiden Lindsay. And the Riverhawks with advantageous field position here to begin their next drive. Ball's going to be spotted, looks like about right around the 30-yard line, maybe say the 28.
I think the 28, yep. And that's, like you said, it's kind of been a battle back and forth, and this is the first time where somebody's starting in an excellent field position, so we'll see if the Riverhawks can capitalize on this.
Defense is the story tonight, and that's something I don't think we necessarily anticipated to be the case as much as it has been here so far throughout this first quarter, both offenses with explosive talent, but the defense stealing the show here today. Both teams' pass rush excellent so far. Olsen steps up in the pocket, and he's brought down around the 30-yard line for about a 2-yard loss. 3 consecutive sacks here, 2 by the Yellowjackets, or excuse me, 2 by the Riverhawks, now 1 by the Yellowjackets. Defense continuing to be the storyline here in this first quarter.
Todd Duran, the defense coordinator for Freeport, always does a great job dialing up pressure, and it's continuing this year. So definitely one of the fortes of the defense is applying that pressure.
And you love to see it, too, as a coach, I'm sure, Wayne, whenever you give the other team such great field position like the Yellowjackets did there. You saw Clark punting basically a step outside of his end zone. But so far, Freeport buckling down. And now you'll see Caden Olsen outside, direct snap to Jackson Chrisman, but this will be a penalty against Armstrong. I think illegal formation. So
Ben Lane came hard off the end there and took out his legs. Like you said, I think they were lined up a little wrong. Had a guy running on the field right before the snap, so it doesn't help either.
Again, another case of week 1, I guess. It's little kind of mistakes, mental mistakes that kind of come with the early part of the season, especially when you have your all-state quarterback lined up outside at wide receiver like you did there. So instead of that, they'll line up 3 guys at the right, Isaiah Brown at the top, and Olsen in the gun. He's going to try to throw it to the side, gets it to Shuttleworth. He holds on around the 30-yard line, where he is dropped down by 2 Yellowjackets, number 1 and number 8.
That'll be Zach Clark and Garrett King on the tackle for the Freeport.
Is that outside of that little dump off to Retzer earlier in the game? I think that's Armstrong, only their second completion, if I'm not mistaken. And as the case has been, pressure again on Olsen. Really not a lot of time. And when he's making plays, he still have to do it. He has to do it while moving. He's really not getting those feet set.
Right. I think Isaiah Brown had that one little short one too for the first down. But there's only a couple yards, and he didn't have much to do with it.
Olsen looking, throws across the middle, finds a receiver up the middle. That will be enough for a first down. That was number 12, Dozik Zablocki, one of those returners from last year that had some meaningful catches during the 2020 season. He extends the Armstrong drive there.
Tackled by 22, Jackson Reiser from his inside linebacker position.
So fresh set of downs, 42 seconds left in the first. If this clock isn't correct, no, we believe it is now, but one doesn't know. Here's a handoff, draw, up the middle, and brought down around the 5-yard line, let's say the 6-yard line. That was Alex Patton with a nice little gain for the Riverhawks. A gain of 7, they're going to say there. Wayne?
53, Aiden Lindsay has to come out of the game. Lost his helmet. It's like number 50. Isaac Woods, better known as Icky, heading into the game there to replace him.
Wilson in the gun. I think he might just be content with letting the clock run out here. Maybe a hard snap. And that will conclude the first quarter. So after one, it is the home Freeport Yellowjackets nothing, the Riverhawks nothing, here on High Top Sports Network's production of WPIAL Football, presented by Sprankle's Neighborhood Market. Stay tuned for second quarter action when we return.
Just finishing up a 100% outside renovation project containing store. Don't miss out. Come and see us. Check out our Pennsylvania skill game room. We have the newest machines, the newest games. We have 5 machines. We're about to add a 6th machine. $10,000 jackpots on all 6 machines. Don't miss out on a chance to win. We have the lowest possible prices and the best quality of anybody in the area. We'll take it up against anybody in the area. We put our stamp of approval, #SableMeat, on every single package, and we're here to serve you every single day. We also have chef-prepared, chef-quality prepared sushi, everyday fresh, and Sushi Wednesday, $5 sushi rolls, and you can win by liking and sharing our favorite page, Sushi Madness shirt. Don't forget to check out our millions of bakery deli products that we're making fresh every day. Appreciate all the support out there. We can't do what we do without you. Come and see us.
And welcome back to High Top Sports Network on this Sprankle's Neighborhood Market game night. 0-0 after one here between the Freeport Yellowjackets and Armstrong Riverhawks. I want to give you another score update here while we have a chance. I misspoke earlier. I apologize, folks. It's 21-0. Central Valley over knock after one, and it's scoreless after one between the Kiski Cavaliers and Butler Golden Tornadoes. That was the 0-0 score I got there. Read the wrong message from my buddy Josh Streckengoss, who's down at that Kiski Butler game. Should be a good one there if you want to check it out as well. It's on High Top Sports Network right now. Flipping the field now, Riverhawks 2nd and 3. Olsen in the gun. Going to hand the ball off up the middle. And bouncing off a tackler and in for the touchdown is number 7. That, of course, for the Riverhawks is Alex Patton. That makes it 6-0. The Riverhawks strike first.
Good strong run right up the middle. Ran over the last Yellow Jacket defender there that had a chance. Didn't see the number, but ran him over and got into the end zone.
And you know what's interesting here? Everybody wanted to talk about what this Armstrong passing offense would look like this season, and so far their effective way of moving the football so far has been on the ground. So don't necessarily identify this team just because of Caden Olsen's cannon of an arm. This team has always loved to run. It's always been an identity of head coach Frank Fabian, and so far tonight, and right there on that touchdown score, running was the key to put the Riverhawks up 6-0, and they will look to add to it here with the extra point. It'll be number 23 on for the extra point. That, of course, is Hunter Reed.
He made it.
And so it is good, and the Riverhawks score first to take a 7-0 lead. First play of the second quarter, able to punch it in there, and they get the first score of either team here in this 2021 season, Wayne.
Yeah, good long run, good powerful run there. And the big thing was we talked about started possession. They ran that short field, and we're able to capitalize on it.
And I would be remiss if I didn't mention that extra point was sponsored by UFP Parker, Universal Forest Products out of Parker. Make sure you check them out online for any job openings. Great place to work, great benefits, a great work environment, and great opportunities to advance. So make sure you check out UFP Parker today.
That extra point you're talking about, Armstrong literally had an offensive lineman running on the field with about 10 seconds on the play clock. Got lined up just in time for the snap.
At what point can we not keep blaming it on week 0?
Yeah. Maybe week 1.
I never understood why we have to call it week 0. Isn't 0 the absence of a number? Why can't it just be week 1 and then just keep going from there?
I think because some teams don't play on week 1, or in week 0. So everybody starts in week 1. You have to play a game in week 1, where some are still doing scrimmages this week. So I think that is the thought behind the process, but
still just makes it confusing for people with the math illiteracy like myself.
I agree.
So just 5 seconds into the second quarter, and the Riverhawks striking. They will kick off now. Back deep will be Ben Lane. Just short is Vinnie Clark, but Lane will get this one around the 6-yard line. Nice boot there by the Riverhawks. Lane coming near side. Going to try to find a seam. He does indeed, and he's off to the races. Just one man ahead of him. Batter angle taken there, and Ben Lane is off to the races. Touchdown, Freeport.
Nice run. Ben Lane sets up his blockers and then just accelerate right down the sideline. And then the final block by Jackson Reiser, taking care of the kicker there, gets him on the board.
And a great run there by Lane. Kind of stutter stepping a little bit, letting the blocks develop out in front of him, finding that seam right between the 20 and 30-yard line on that return, and then just using that speed to take it the distance. What a nice play there by Ben Lane.
That's what you can't practice. It's special teams, and that's why I said I think that's where teams are going to capitalize in the week 0, week 1 type games. You know, getting their first couple games in where you don't rep those things in practice.
No.
You can't. You know, if you do, it's not full speed. You can't duplicate somebody with Lane speed coming at you if you're Armstrong too. So.
And you know, on Lane actually hobbling there a little bit. Hopefully that young man will be okay. Quickly to check on him as his quarterback. Nobody probably as concerned. And that extra point is up and good. That too sponsored by UFP Parker. Check him out today online. UFP Parker.
That was number 7, Vinnie Clark, with the extra point. So.
And while we have an opportunity here, we want to take a quick chance to thank one of our many wonderful sponsors. And right now, that is Phoenix Physical Therapy in Katanning and Rural Valley. Life is all about motion, so orthopedic injuries are just a part of life. Phoenix Physical Therapy in Rural Valley and Katanning will help you recover, recharge, and rise to new heights after an injury by creating a program focused on you. Your life should be pain-free and filled with activities that you love. And with the help of Phoenix Physical Therapy, you can get there. Schedule 24/7 online at phoenixphysicaltherapy.com or call them today to make an appointment. Thank you to the folks at Phoenix Physical Therapy.
So that lead for Armstrong lasted a whole 15 seconds. Now 11:40 on the clock.
We
and
go
it's a 7-7 game.
Right. We go a whole 12 minutes without any points, and then the last 20 seconds we get 14. So that's just the way sports work sometimes. Especially whenever you take a kick to the house like Ben Lane did right there.
Exactly. Now it's Armstrong's chance. Return against Freeport's kick team.
That'll be 3 guys back. Segola, Shuttleworth, and Chrisman deep for the Hawks.
Vinnie Clark booming it down there on the
Good
kickoff.
boot. What a boot. And you saw Shuttleworth just kind of wave that one off, and they'll take this one at the 20 and start from there with 11:40 left in the second quarter.
Guess that's one way to nullify, have to worry about making a tackle on the kickoff coverage, is just kick it in the end zone where there's no return.
I'm sure the Riverhawks wish they could have been able to get a touchback on their last kickoff, but instead Ben Lane, who looks like he's moving around better now, able to house that one. Now the Riverhawks back out on the field here. It'll be interesting to see. Do they continue to really utilize that run game that's been so effective? Do they want to get Caden Olsen going in the pass game? First formation will have Alex Patton in the backfield. 3 receivers, 1 at the top. Patton's going to get this one, take it right up the middle, drag a tackler with him down to about the 32-yard line. Nice job there by keeping the legs moving by Alex Patton.
22, Jackson Reiser, kind of like you said, holding on there, and then Zach Clark coming in to help him out.
Little no huddle now by the Riverhawks. Same formation. Olsen gets the high snap, gives it off again, right up the middle. Almost an identical play, trying to move the pile and pass the first down marker to about the 38-yard lines where they'll mark him down. So 2 nice plays there, right up the gut by Alex Patton. I want to make sure you folks know to stay tuned for the halftime show, sponsored by Douglas Insurance and Olsen Chiropractic. We'll get both bands' performances on here for you then. Another draw right up the middle by Patton for about a gain of 3. Bring up 2nd and 7.
Armstrong slowing down just a little bit, making a substitution there.
Yeah, it's like you have to wonder, is it that much more difficult to run a no huddle with the conditions like they are now? We're taking, drink timeouts at this point. It's an interesting strategy here on a humid night like this. Snap, handoff, going to the right, and brought down behind the line of scrimmage by a pile of Yellowjackets was number 22, Caleb Retzer.
Parker Lucas with the final Yellow Jacket there to finish him off. Battled off a couple of them and then got taken down by number 9, Parker Lucas.
They're going to say that was a loss of 3 on the play. Set up a 3rd and 13, 9:58 remaining here in the second quarter. Clock rolling. Olsen in the gun, 2 to the bottom of your screen, including Isaiah Brown. That's exactly where he's looking. He's going to try to throw this one. He does. Beating the receiver, though, and having to slow up. Just kind of miscommunication there between Olsen and Brown. Olsen overthrowing him. Brown kind of stopping for a second to see where that ball was, and by the time he turned, it was heading over his head. So sort of a tough play there, and Brown hobbling a little bit. You can see him kind of gingerly on that ankle.
Yeah, they had him. He had ran kind of right by Gavin Kearney there on the outside, and they had him. And like you said, he kind of hesitated for a second and couldn't make the adjustment.
So a 4th down now. Olsen on the field still. 3 receivers. And it's going to go past him to Chrisman, who's going to punt this one. A little bit of trickery there just to keep the Yellow Jackets honest. And a Freeport bounce will take that one down to the 22-yard line. And that's where the Yellow Jackets will begin when we come back here after a quick break on this Sprankles Neighborhood Market game night on High Top Sports Network.
Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop is the official clother of High Top Sports Network and is a family-owned company that can handle all your custom embroidery, custom sign, and laser engraving needs. Located at 409 4th Street in downtown Fort City, Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop can create sports and career apparel to the exact specifications of your organization. Their laser engraving department can put your logo or design on glasses, tumblers, insulated cups, signs, coffee cups, and more. Call Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop at 724-763-2461 today.
And welcome back. First snap there. A little pitch and a throw downfield. Charlton's going to be the intended receiver. Hands straight up by the defender. A little bit of contact. But going back there, Ben Lane with the throw there. Of course, the quarterback a season ago when King was on the shelf with his cancer diagnosis. Pitch out the lane, tries to throw it downfield. It got some distance on it again. Charlton just kind of unable to maneuver past the defender. Kept his hands up, but I think that's why they didn't throw the flag there. Jack Valasek was the defender in the play.
Yeah, like you said, the defensive back did a good job. He didn't come up on the run, and Charlton never really got behind him, so couldn't take advantage of that one.
So 2nd and 10, ball at the 17, 9:23 left. Another bad snap, able to get it away, but another fumble, and that one's picked up by the Riverhawks and down at the 2-yard line. A bad turnover by Freeport there. A missed snap, then the pitch was bad, and then recovering it there was number 22, Caleb Retzer, in fantastic field position for the Riverhawks. Just a bad mistake there by the Freeport offense, a continuation of these missed snaps we've been seeing, Wayne.
Yeah, bad snap, and honestly, I thought they were going to call King down.
I thought so, too.
Up, and they didn't blow the whistle, and then a bad pitch out there. Oh, we got the old Armstrong, Caden Olsen split up to the top.
I'm going to guess that
we're going to call this the Riverhawk formation.
I'm going to guess either Chrisman or Retzer's going to get this snap and barrel forward. That's just a guess here.
The Wild Hawk.
Yep, and that is Chrisman. He barrels forward as said and gets through for the touchdown. The Riverhawks able to make that turnover, or make the Yellow Jackets pay for that turnover, scoring on the very first play to make this 13-7.
Like you said, or like we were saying, kind of the variation of everybody's kind of got it originally started as the Wildcat, now everybody's kind of got their old thing, so we'll call it the Wild Hawk there.
So the UFP Parker extra point attempt upcoming here by number 23. That is Hunter Reed. Snap good. Hold down by Olsen. Kick up, and it is good. That'll make it 14-7 in favor of the Riverhawks. They capitalize after a turnover that gave them the ball at the Freeport 3-yard line. They needed one play to plunge it into the end zone to get the lead back, 14-7.
Once again, 2 times now they've had short fields, and they've capitalized on both of them. So the big play, or the big thing here now is, can the Riverhawks cover the kickoff? Do they squib it, change the game up a little bit, don't give Lane that opportunity to run it back, or do they kick it deep and hope for the best again?
And really, for the Yellowjackets, they've had really nice moments of good things happening, especially defensively, getting pressure on Olsen. But right now, a lot of things that they're doing that are affecting them, whether it's the turnover you saw there, a couple botched snaps, a lot of penalties here thus far as well. So it'll be interesting to watch that moving forward. That's something I'm sure that Coach Gaylot's going to want to see this team clean up, especially heading into the second half. I'm sure that's going to be a part of his discussion during the intermission.
Definitely. The good part of it is this week, and then even next week when Freeport travels to Knock, their exhibition game, so they won't hurt them in the standings for a playoff position. So got a couple weeks here of learning experience to then get ready for that conference play.
That'll be number 29, a different guy doing the kicking than the extra points. This is number 29, Tanner Stockdill. It's brought in by Vinnie Clark. He's going to go to the left side towards his own sideline, bring it out to about the 25 or 26-yard line, and that's where Garrett King and the Freeport offense will take over with 9:04 remaining here in the second quarter. Wayne, you're probably looking at me like I'm crazy. I keep playing with my microphone. I've got a headset for those that don't know out there, and it just keeps falling on me. It's the most annoying thing in the world. So if you see me fidgeting with my microphone here, that's why. You'll hear my voice sometimes down here, and then you'll hear me up here, a little bit up here. Just got to keep a hand on it, I guess.
Week 0 for the announcers, too.
Exactly. We're not perfect either. We didn't get a full off season as well.
Looks like Isaac Woods out there on the offensive line, number 50 for Freeport, coming off the bench. Not quite sure what lineman is in there now, but somebody looks like 51. Ethan Lisinski's out now, senior. They come out after taking the junior year off. So once again, just juggling that offensive line, trying to find the right combination up front for the Jackets.
And a problem they weren't expecting to have coming into this game until that scrimmage on Saturday that we brought up in the pregame that sidelined a couple guys for this game. Now it's kind of a revolving door there on the offensive line. Here's King, low snap. He's going to roll out to the right. Throwing a block is Lane. Throwing on the run, though, and doing it well out to Vinnie Clark, just through his hands, considering the how much that King was rolling to his right there. And to get that pass on Clark like he did, maybe he should have brought that one in. Still would have been a tough play, but for the pressure that both quarterbacks have been feeling, the receivers really have to help them out as much as possible here tonight.
Definitely. For any quarterback, your best friend is the wide receiver that makes the play. Like you said, it would have been a tough catch for Vinny, but definitely want to probably ask him, he'd say he should have had.
And the pass rush, we mentioned that there in the first quarter, Wayne. It just continues here in the second half. These quarterbacks not with a lot of time to throw, and certainly not enough time to set their feet and make an accurate throw. That has been the case throughout.
Empty backfield.
Yep, empty backfield. 3 receivers at the bottom. Flag in. I think that's going to be a false start, if I'm not mistaken. That's not. Yeah, it's against the Riverhawks, it looks like.
Encroachment on the defense.
So Freeport catching a break there after committing some consecutive penalties of their own. Oh, the Riverhawks sacrificing 5 yards.
Looks like they're going empty set again. Trips to one side. Twins to the top side there, closest to Armstrong's bench.
King in the gun. Receives another low snap. Keeping his head downfield, trying to get away. He does there for a second. He continues to escape past the first down marker and more. What a nice play there by Garrett King. Able to do a Houdini there and escape from a pile and turn nothing into something. What a nice play there by Garrett King.
Great to see him using his athletic ability, like you said. Freeport kind of spreads everybody out with the trips to the one side and the twins the other side, so it gave him a little bit of room there, and he's able to take advantage of it. Ben Lane coming out. Number 1, Zach Clark, entering the lineup for Jackets on offense.
You got to wonder if Lane's completely healthy. A little bit of a hobble there still, and he will get attended to here on the near sideline.
Bill Siegel, best trainer in America, taking care of him.
Another low snap. King is going to roll out to his right. Riverhawks everywhere. He's going to go the other direction, try to get through another tackler, but brought down behind the line of scrimmage there by number 22. That, of course, is Caleb Bretzer. And as good as Garrett King has been on these last 2 plays, you just can't scramble past 12 guys all night long.
He looks to be hobbling a little bit here, but like you said, he almost pulled another Houdini, got away from guys early on, but then he just too much.
8:04 left here in the second quarter. A 2nd and 12, ball at the 43-yard line.
King is coming out. Gavin Croney, it looks like, entering. Oh, Jackets are going to call a timeout.
And with that, we will take a quick timeout while the Yellow Jackets sort out what is happening at the quarterback position. So stay tuned here on the Sprankles Neighborhood Game Night on High Top Sports Network.
With over 40 years of experience, the fine folks at Steffi's Country Catering in Adrian can provide you with several scrumptious options for your next family gathering, corporate event, or tailgate. Make sure to try one of their custom meat and cheese trays or pick up a delicious Sunday takeout special. Steffi's Country Catering is a Leader Times Silver Best of winner 3 years running. And as the holidays approach, get back to celebrating with friends and family and leave the cooking to Steffi's. Sugar Rush Cupcakes by Tara are available by order. That's Steffi's Country Catering. Find them on Facebook.
So play again. And King throwing across his body there, unable to make anything happen. And really, when he's trying to move to that sideway, and we've seen it all night, just not able to really get much on the passer as much as he would like. The pressure, again, by both teams, very strong here tonight.
Yep. Looks like Ben Lane just cooling down a little bit, getting some cold towels around his neck. So hopefully he's back in soon. King running back out the huddle. Big play here, 3rd and 10. About the 24-yard line for the Jackets.
Yeah, 2 receivers split outside. King in the gun.
Another low snap. He's got to bend over.
He's going to throw this one down the sideline. Has a chance, and it is brought in for the touchdown. What a nice play there by number 22 for the Yellowjackets, Jackson Reiser.
Big catch there by 22, Jackson Reiser. Adjusted to the ball, spun around a little bit, caught it, and fell backwards into the end zone as he's catching it.
This drive featured a couple nice plays by the Freeport receiving corps right there. Reiser able to track that one down. We saw Stuyvesant do it earlier to get them into Armstrong territory, and another beautiful catch there. The extra point, or impending extra point, will tie this one up again. A back-and-forth contest. Freeport with its best drive, I would say, of the contest. The first time the offense has scored, of course, the other touchdown coming off of the kick return by Ben Lane. Snap, hold up, and good. That extra point presented by UFB Parker. So with 6:54 left here in the second quarter, the Jackets able to tie it back up once again at 14-all. What a impressive drive there. The thing about it too, Wayne, you have to realize with the shuffling of the linemen, the guys coming in and out, different quarterbacks, different receiving targets, and to able to take that down the field and put 7 on the board, you got to be pretty happy with some of the mistakes that they've been making, but to kind of bounce back and have a drive like you saw right there.
Definitely, like you said, as a coach, you'd be happy with that. The guys that were going in were doing their part and doing their jobs, and Stuyvesant with a big catch there, and then Jackson Reiser with the touchdown catch. Lyman giving them some time to make the throws as well, so that's good. So see how the Riverhawks respond. 6:54 to go here in the second quarter.
So Vinnie Clark, who on his last kickoff had a touchback, will tee it up again. 2 Riverhawks flanking Shuttleworth for the return. Shuttleworth will again let this one go, and the Riverhawks will be content with starting from the 20-yard line with 6:54 left before the halftime intermission. So we're going to take a very quick break here on High Top Sports Network. When we get back, the Riverhawks will have the football here after Freeport able to have a nice long drive and put 7 on the board. All right, welcome back. Caden Olson and the Riverhawks back out on the field. 2 receivers to both sides.
Another new defensive back out there, 44 for the Jackets, Cypern Sellinger, sophomore.
Snap good, handoff up the middle. This, of course, is Alex Patton. The pile continuing to move. And they're going to say he's down around the 30-yard line. So, excuse me, I keep wanting to say that they are getting the football from the 20. They actually get it from the 25 after the touchback. So a gain of 5 there on the carry by Patton.
Yeah, you got to like him. He keeps his legs moving every single time. The pile normally isn't going backward, just going forward for the Riverhawks with him running it there.
Clock continuing to roll, 6:22 left. Olson in the gun. Patton to his right. 3 receivers at the top of the screen, 1 at the bottom. Good snap. Olson looking. Single coverage. A little bit of contact there, but no flag. Number 44 newly entered, as you mentioned there on the coverage. The intended receiver was number 48 for the Riverhawks, Lane Hepner. I do like how the referees are calling the contact in the secondary. There's a lot of plays that you maybe could throw flags, but you don't want to see this turn into something that's just stop and start with laundry on the field every other play. So I do like how these referees are calling this game. You could have maybe said that was pass interference, but I like that they didn't. Kept the flag in the pocket. Now back into the game. A nice sight for the Riverhawks. Isaiah Brown in single coverage at the bottom of the screen. Trips to the top, but now man in motion. They're going to even things out. 2 receivers at the top, 2 at the bottom. Olsen in the gun. Fakes the handoff. Going to step up in the pocket. Looking for Brown. He's going to sling this one off his back foot. Brown going up for it. And there is a flag. Isaiah Brown able to draw contact there around the Freeport 30-yard line, and that's where they're going to say he contacted Isaiah Brown. He wants to say his hands were up, but you're still making contact like that, and they're going to call that any time, especially when you're making contact for about a 7-yard period of space there,
right,
as the case was there for number 7, Vinnie Clark.
They may let you get away with it, too, if you take a peek back at the ball, too. He never even kind of looked back at it. So
I feel like Vinny thought it was basketball. It's like, hey, pleading the ref, I kept my hands up. I had my hands up. I've had a nickel for every time I've had to say that on the basketball court. But unfortunately for Vinny there, they're going to flag him, and then they're going to move that one, 15 yards?
Yep. So first 10 at the 45 for the Riverhawks.
Going to keep this 4-receiver set going with Alex Patton in the backfield to Olsen's left. Or 3 to the top now. Olsen looking at the bottom of the screen. And he's going to go down in a heap. 4 Freeport Yellowjackets there to bring him down for a pretty significant loss. That'll bring up 3rd and very long. Or 2nd and very long, excuse me.
11, Andrew Sullivan. 22, Jackson Ryder. 6, Cole Charlton. And 26, Colton Otterman. All got a piece of them there. Getting the fans fired up after the sack.
Clock continuing to roll, and that Freeport pressure, which has been a pretty consistent part of this game, has the Riverhawks pass rush rearing its head again. Here's Olsen getting rid of this one out in the flat. This is Shuttleworth, breaks 1 tackle, gets some good blocking ahead of him. Got more blockers, tries to cut it back outside past Ben Lane, where then Lane will catch back up with him and knock him out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Nice play there by Noah Shuttleworth.
Yeah, nice yards after catch there. Looks like Armstrong's trying to go quick.
You know, that's what happens when you don't have a lot of time. You got to get the ball out quickly, and it seems like Armstrong's trying to adapt to that. And right there, the case, just dumping it out on the flat to Noah Shuttleworth and letting him do the rest. Quick back to the line are the Riverhawks. 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen. Fakes the handoff. He's going to throw in that direction to number 2. That, of course, is Connor Segola. He's going to drag a tackler with him, drag a second tackler with him before he's brought down at the 16-yard line. Nice play again by an Armstrong back to kind of drag a Freeport defender with him. This time it was Connor Segola.
Almost looked like the Jackets got caught with 12 guys on the field. The one guy was running off late.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, but I think they stuck him off just in time. No huddle continuing here for the Hawks. But instead, they're going to blow the whistle, and we're going to get a water break.
I think we got a couple Freeport guys down.
And it's warm out there.
Maybe an injury timeout.
Yeah, just everybody cramping. Literally, it's like everybody's got a cramp right there right now. Oh, man. I don't mean to laugh. We know it's nothing serious, you know. But, man, you got to stay hydrated on a night like this. And it's not something you need to start doing just during the game. You got to be doing it a little bit the night before, throughout the day, especially when it's this humid. We know it. We're up here in the box, barely have any breeze in here.
Right. Like you said, you know, big thing with hydration is starting it up earlier in the week and then going.
Larry Robb coming in to let me know that he thinks it's cold in here. Of course it's not. Larry pulling our leg here on High Top Sports Network. Loved to do that last year. Glad to see Larry back. Always a big helper here to us at High Top Sports Network, providing stats and information. He did that all year long for us, so appreciate that. And his canter and having fun at the High Top guys' expense. 4:40 left. And Wayne, have you ever seen a football game where there were water breaks?
I have not. Maybe on ESPN when they're doing those games like in Texas and Florida. I think they're giving some just extreme heat early on. Looks like 22 Jackson Riders coming off the field, a cramp. Looks to be smiling, so I'd say he's feeling pretty good now.
So with 4:40 left here, Olsen back at it. Isaiah Brown, single coverage, bottom of your screen, 3 receivers at the top. Alex Patton flanked to Olsen's right, fakes the handoff to Patton. Pump fake there, wide open in the back of the end zone is number 2, Connor Sagola for the touchdown. The Riverhawks retake the lead, 20-14.
Nice little move there where they've been running that quick little screen, and they faked that and got the Sagola slipped right through, right past the defenders there, wide open.
And as I'm watching that ball in the air, I'm thinking to myself, Wayne, that might be the hardest catch anybody's going to have to make all night. He was wide open. That ball had nice loft under it. Sagola had it tracked down. He just had to bring it in. I'm sure even in his mind that felt like 50 seconds worth of time. There's an interesting play there. A quick snap to Olsen. I think they were going to try to, they're going to try to go for 2 there, but to no avail. Freeport able to snip that one out. And it will remain 20-14. So that's a play right there that could loom large in this game, as both teams in the first 2 touchdowns able to convert the extra point. So if Freeport's able to put one on the board here and go for the extra point, they could get the lead back.
Definitely. Big play. Wonder if that's one of those automatic reads, like you see a lineup and certain thing, and somebody's supposed to make an automatic call on it. A lot of teams are going to that look nowadays in the extra points, and then they shift everybody back over and then go ahead and kick it. So I know a lot of them say that it's an automatic read. They're trying to look for something. If it's there, they go to it automatically. But coaching staff next door didn't seem too excited with that automatic read. So I'm going to say somebody missed something there.
Oh, how'd you guess, Wayne? But yeah, that's an interesting play at this stage of game, considering that Freeport's converted both of its extra points, and they've also done a good job of responding here of late as well. So, Freeport's able to respond once more here before the half with 4:34 remaining. Have that extra point attempt. They could actually maybe gain a little more momentum and get the lead back heading into the second half.
Yep. You got dangerous Ben Lane back there in the middle. They're already taking one to the house. Surrounded by Parker Lucas and Vinnie Clark. So we'll see if we can get a nice return for the Jackets. Set them up.
A couple score updates real quickly here. It is 49-0 Central Valley over Knock right now at halftime. And it is 7-0 Kiski over Butler. A touchdown by Logan Johnson in that game, the difference. Kickoff here by Vinnie Clark, or the return by Clark. Dragged down around the 24-yard line, and that's where the Freeport offense will get back to it with 4:28 remaining in the first half.
Speaking of that Knox score, that's where Freeport, that's who they'll be playing next week. So another High Top Sports Network game coverage there.
Yeah, we'll have all the Knock football games this year. We'll have all but one Freeport game this year. We will not have the North Catholic broadcast, unfortunately. Bigger dogs with a little bit more, a little bit bigger than a bank account than High Top Sports Network, able to secure that one. The folks, I believe, at PCN will be covering that one for you. Rolling out here is King. He's going to try to get rid of it, throw a ball right towards the sideline and see if he could get the receiver to tightrope, but through his hands, the intended receiver was number 26. That is Colton Otterman.
Another penalty flag thrown by the referee.
See, that's a holding based on where that is located.
Once it went through Colton Otterman's hand, Coach Todd Duran made a great catch on the sidelines. We'll give him credit for that one there.
There have been a few in this game by Freeport. You might as well just add to the list.
The Riverhawks accept the penalty, so it makes it 1st and 20 from the 15.
I think they're going to, wait, is that backwards? Yeah, I think that might be backwards. It's saying 15 to go. That can't be right. Anyways, King in the gun. 2 receivers at the top, 1 at the bottom. Ben Lane in the backfield. He's going to throw this one out quickly to the outside. That's brought in. Trying to make a move there is number 7, Vinnie Clark. He's brought down around the 21-yard line. Clock continuing to roll. 4:10 remaining here before the half. And a long 3rd down here for Freeport.
So 2nd and like 12, 11, somewhere in that ballpark. Jackets don't seem to be in too much of a rush here. Probably don't want to give it back to the Riverhawks with too much time and pretty good field position.
That's a good call, Wayne.
Be interesting. Each team has one timeout, so we'll see if Armstrong decides to use a timeout at some point.
Tight formation here by the Jackets. Pitch
low
outside the lane. Lane's going to try to get the edge on the far side. And a couple guys
out of bounds. That's
yeah.
big for the Riverhawks. That stops the clock.
Yeah, that is indeed. Not sure. I mean, kind of Armstrong forcing him that way, but I just kind of go down if you're in that situation. Like you said, stops the clock with 3:25 left.
Saves Armstrong's last timeout, so we'll see if they need to use it after this down.
.325 left. Garrett King in the gun. Ben Lane behind him and to his right. Ben Lane's whistles blowing here. And another stoppage, and my, oh my.
I think it was delay a game. Coming from the back judge there, delay a game.
Penalties. Certainly a part of this one. Another one there. Thinking it might be a delay of game. It is indeed, and that will pin the Yellow Jackets back even further, and that doesn't help that scenario you just brought up. If the Riverhawks are able to get the ball back, considering where the Yellow Jackets would be punting from if they didn't gain any more, that would give the Riverhawks some fantastic field position with 3:24 left. Plenty of time for Caden Olson. That big arm is his. Snap low. King has it. He's going to step up. He's going to have a chance. He's going to look Vinnie Clark down the sideline, but overthrows him by a good 5 yards. Clark had the step, but just unable to connect. With him was Garrett King, and he's shooken up again. That poor kid has just been hit a lot tonight. As the case has been for both quarterbacks, really, to this not look as punishing, but Garrett King taking a punishment in his first varsity game back.
Yep. Big thing was that incomplete pass also stops the clock. So 3:17, and it gives Armstrong still a timeout when they're on offense, too.
Yeah, and you're going to see Vinnie Clark punt basically from the right from the goal line here. About the 1 or maybe the 2, they'll say, and gets this one off. Shuttleworth back to get it. And a booming punt there. That one to about the other 45. Shuttleworth trying to spin out of something, going backwards and downed at the 44, say 43-yard line. That's where Caden Olson and company will take over.
You got to say, Vinnie Clark has been a weapon in the kicking game, punting and kicking off. That's big thing there. Number 4, Gavin Croney with the tackle on the punt there. But when you have somebody who can kick like that, it's a big advantage in the high school game, too.
So Caden Olson back to it. 2 receivers at the top, 1 at the bottom. Instead, he's going to elect to hand this one off. And another nice run there by Alex Patton. Seen him run strong up the middle tonight for the Riverhawks. Another case of that. Give him about a gain of 6. Set up a 2nd and 4. 2:48 left here. And the clock continuing to roll.
Riverhawks going quick. Calling a guy onto the field, so not so quick. Looks like they're going to have to burn their last timeout.
And you mentioned it. When would the teams use the timeout? And right there's your answer. Armstrong taking that one there. And so we will do the same here on High Top Sports Network on this Sprankles Neighborhood Game Night on High Top Sports Network. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop is the official clother of High Top Sports Network and is a family-owned company that can handle all your custom embroidery, custom sign, and laser engraving needs. Located at 409 4th Street in downtown Fort City, Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop can create sports and career apparel to the exact specifications of your organization. Their laser engraving department can put your logo or design on glasses, tumblers, insulated cups, signs, coffee cups, and more. Call Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop at 724-763-2461 today.
And welcome back to High Top Sports Network. 2:38 remaining. Armstrong using its final timeout there a moment ago. What will be a 2nd down and 4 to go right at midfield.
Probably not the plan of attack, I don't think, using that timeout where they had to there. I think they probably would have liked to have saved it, but
Rush coming again, gets it outside. Similar play to
there's
Shuttleworth,
touchdown.
and he is gone. Just throwing it outside, letting the blocking do the rest, and Shuttleworth, that speed, get into the end zone and make this a 26-14 Armstrong lead.
just a quick little hitch, one good block, and he was gone.
And that seems to be a part of this Armstrong offensive strategy right now. You know, Olsen not getting enough time to really get the ball far downfield, similar to how maybe we saw a lot of last year. Right now, it's sort of a 2-step drop. Look at those guys out in the flat, look for a screen, and let those guys do the rest of the work. And so far, it's been working quite well for the Riverhawks here, especially in the second quarter.
Definitely. Just let Shuttleworth use his speed.
And the extra point, the UFP Parker extra point, is up and good. And we have a 27-15 Armstrong lead.
And another cramp. This time an Armstrong player.
Protecting the things you love and how you do so is among the most important decisions you'll ever have to make. TGIF Solutions can provide you with the peace of mind by supplying answers to all of your insurance needs, whether it be home, auto, business, life, or farm coverage. Contact the team at the Shellhammer Atwood Agency today in West Katanning to be sure that you, your loved ones, and the things that matter most stay safe when it matters the most. TGIF Solutions, insurance for what matters.
And welcome back to Freeport Junior Senior High School. A Armstrong player getting attended to. Certainly looks like cramps. The Iceman, Todd Harvey, out there. Haven't had a chance to see Todd yet this year. Out there making sure that the Armstrong player is getting the proper treatment, as Todd always provides. Talk about good trainers. There's another one right there, Todd Harvey. Double dips. He's also the athletic director. You talk about a busy guy.
I was just going to say, he might be one of the ones that has the rarest combination, athletic trainer and athletic director.
I don't of all the teams that I've covered and over the last 6-7 years as I've been around the high school sports scene, never seen it, except the Iceman, Todd Harvey.
And he did that at Katanning too, right?
I do believe so. Of course, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention that he had had the help up until this past January. The late Denny Stewart passing away due to COVID. Also an instrumental part of Armstrong and the joining of those two programs, Ford City and Katanning. And this will be the first football season without Denny. And I know us high top guys sure miss him, miss seeing him around Armstrong Junior Senior High School. And I speak for the community. He was a tremendous human being, and Todd certainly has to work a little bit harder knowing that Denny's not there to help him out anymore. So
Always smiling, Denny was. Anytime you saw him.
he was indeed. Always moving. Always had something going on, always going somewhere. Always pleasant enough to say hi, but you knew you didn't want to take too much of his time because he was on a mission. But our thoughts to Denny's family. No, it never gets easier, and we miss him as well. The kickoff by Armstrong. They lead 27-14. Going to come to this near side. Nice little cut there. A little bit of room up the sideline, but a nice tackle around the 35-yard line, but an even better return there by Vinnie Clark.
52, Dylan Kajini with the tackle there on special teams.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to really call Dylan's name too much yet tonight. He's one of those guys, really a defensive stalwart, a big part of the team last year. Expecting big things from his own defense this year, and I'm sure he's probably quite pleased with how this pass rush has performed so far.
.217 left here in the first half. Freeport takes over at the 36-yard line. See what they decide to do here, what their philosophy is.
Garrett King in the gun. Ben Lane behind him. Going to be a little bit of a lead blocker as he rolls out to the left side. He's just going to, he ends up throwing this one away. Looked like he was thinking about maybe getting it to number 27. That is Colton Otterman. But again, we've seen the difficulties that Garrett has faced tonight trying to roll to that left side and throw across his body. It's just a difficult throw for any quarterback, let alone a 17, 18-year-old kid.
Exactly. Like you said, you don't see many pros or college quarterbacks making that throw, and there's a reason for it.
The guy that's real good at it. His name's Patrick Mahomes. So
he throws it from every angle.
Yeah, he's a little different. He's an exception to the rule. Basically a shortstop playing quarterback. So Lane back out there behind King. Two receivers at the top, one at the bottom. Pitch out to Ben Lane. Going to try to stutter step, try to buy some time, but the Armstrong defense quick to the spot. Not much doing on that one. Clock under 2 minutes now here before halftime.
Yeah, stayed in bounds, so they aren't stopping the clock. So that's an advantage for Freeport. Armstrong without any timeouts. Tough situation there, running the sweep to the short side there. Don't have much room to go.
And Lane, once again, slow to get up. You got to wonder if this is a byproduct of the heat. You know, just the number of injuries we've seen, just the number of times that he and King and others have been slow to get up. It's been another one of those themes tonight. Another low snap. King's going to roll that left way again. Hits the receiver, but dropped. He turned his head. Wide open was the intended target there. That was number, I want to say, number 8, if I'm not mistaken. No, that would not be number 8 because that's Garrett King.
Parker Lucas. 9.
Yeah, Parker Lucas. You could see it even from here. Turn that head, ready to turn it upfield, but not making sure that ball got into him and dropped what would have been a first down.
And that hard pass we talked about King struggling with a little bit earlier, that was a perfect pass rolling to that side, making a throw. They're right in the numbers.
So now a punt upcoming with still 1:18 left. Still a good amount of time for the Armstrong offense after this punt. But Vinnie Clark, of course, a boomer the last few times. Here's another one. This one not so much, but it might get a good roll. It will indeed. And downed at the 31. So from off the foot, it didn't look like it was going to be too great, but a nice roll in favor of the Yellowjackets. Gets it down to the 31-yard line, and that's where Caden Olson and company will take over with 1:08 remaining.
So we'll see what they can do. No timeouts. Minute 8 on the clock. Like you just said, Joe. See what they do. They take a conservative type thing and hope for maybe one of those ones to bust open like they did last time, or are they going to try to take advantage of a long throw downfield maybe to the receiver? So we'll see. You got Brown coming out, and he's been the guy. If they did focus downfield, that's the guy they've been kind of focusing on.
Really no deep completions for the Riverhawks. I mean, you've had some short passes that yielded a long, it's going to look long in the scorebook, but really nothing like we were seeing a lot of last year. Maybe I just jinxed it. This might happen right now. Dart across the middle, Shuttleworth there. He's going to cut towards the right sideline, try to get the edge, and brought down around the 28-yard line. An absolute dart there by Caden Olson. Give the Armstrong Riverhawks a new set of downs at the 26-yard line, still with 57 seconds left, and there you go. That's what Caden Olson can do with little time on the clock.
And unfortunately for Freeport, Zach Clark makes a nice tackle, but he also gets a cramp, it looks like, which gives the Riverhawks a free timeout. So that's big in that situation there.
Yeah, that really is, and that's an excellent point, Wayne. Right there, for the first time, though, you really got to see Caden Olson show off what that arm is capable of doing, that dart right over the middle to Noah Shuttleworth. That's been kind of few and far between tonight. When we've seen Shuttleworth get involved in the action, it's been those little plays like his last touchdown reception that was just a dump outside and kind of just letting him follow the blocking and use that shiftiness to get downfield this time. A beautiful route and a nice pass by Caden Olson. And as you said, clock stopping, giving the Riverhawks some time to talk without any timeouts prior. So a big break there by the Hawks. I want to call it a 2-minute offense, but really it's about a 1 and 8 second offense. And I wonder if this is the point where sort of the breaking point for Freeport, just kind of hanging and hanging and hanging. You know, they got that jolt from the Ben Lane touchdown run on the kickoff return, and a nice drive there and that great reception in the end zone by, I want to say, was that Jackson Reiser, if I'm not mistaken? I do believe.
Yes, it was.
You know, but since then, sort of everything has stalled. It's been Pretty short time of possession with the ball for the Yellowjackets, so I'm sure that's something they want to address at halftime and make sure it's not the case in the second half. Pump fake there. Olsen with a little fade pass into the corner. Up for Jack Balasek. Couldn't have put that ball any better, but even better defense there by the Yellowjackets. On the coverage was number 4, Gavin Croney.
Good job battling for that ball there. Knocked it down.
Again, that ball I don't think could have been put in a better spot. The throw from Olsen just giving Balasek an opportunity, but as mentioned, Croney's defense up to the task. Bringing up 2nd and 10, 45 seconds left. Here's the snap, another outside screen. This time it is to Isaiah Brown. He's going to have a couple blockers. And knocked out of bounds at the 13-yard line.
And once again, though, it looks like a jacket down after the tackle, giving Armstrong another free timeout.
That's Ben Lane again. That young man has spent more time on the turf, I feel like than he has on his feet. I don't know if it's
like
just
another cramp
yeah.
again.
Nights like this, I wonder what the temperature still is. I know in this booth that we're in, it's probably about 130, but out in the field, maybe a little bit cooler. But when they're exerting themselves like they are, it's easy to lose fluids pretty quickly. While we have the opportunity, I want to thank another one of our wonderful sponsors, if I may.
Oh, you may.
And that, of course, is our Red Zone sponsor tonight. And speaking of the Red Zone, we're in there right now, and our Red Zone is sponsored by Ryan Bowser State Farm. Buckle up with State Farm to find out auto insurance that fits you and your family's needs. Agent Ryan Bowser can assist you with all your auto insurance needs. From collision to comprehensive to rental and rideshare. State Farm is the largest auto insurance provider in the United States, and Ryan Bowser in Fort City can help you find the plan that's right for you and yours. Contact Ryan today at 724-763-9331. Also, too, we have halftime coming up, and we'd like to thank both of our halftime sponsors, one of which is Olsen Chiropractic. When the aches and pains of everyday life have you stuck on the sidelines, make sure to visit the caring professionals at Olsen Chiropractic, located at 159 Butler Road, Suite 2A in West Katanning. Dr. Ryan Olsen and his staff and his experienced staff will get you back in the game in no time. Of course, our other halftime sponsor is the wonderful Marie at Douglas Insurance. Always love Marie. Got to find Marie's live read.
She's right up the road here, about 30 seconds from the high school.
Great
here.
proximity, I know. Even I'm cramping up now. Whew.
Armstrong ready to take the field here.
I need a Gatorade, some pickle juice or something here, Wayne. We'll thank Marie here in a moment, but Armstrong back at it, like you said, 39 seconds left. Olsen pointing out something to his offense. He's got 2 receivers to both sides, including Isaiah Brown at the top. He's going to throw him a little swing pass, almost undercutting that was the defender, but Brown coming back to it, but tackled quickly again by number 7. That was, of course, Vinnie Clark. 21 seconds remain. Armstrong back quickly to the line. It's a little bit of miscommunication. Olsen
trying to run a guy off the field.
Olsen, what a play that was. What a trickery. And the touchdown, the pass to number 12, Dozik Zablocki. What happened on that one, Wayne?
So it's a direct snap to the running back who flipped it to the quarterback who was lined up as the running back.
Who made it look like he was going to move forward, like he was going to run with it.
And they pulled up and just found the receiver there open for the touchdown.
That was, again, Dozik Zablocki. What a nice play there by Frank Fabian and his offense drawing that one up. It's fun to watch that one unfold, and the UFP Parker extra point up and good. And just like that, we were tied 14-all what felt like just a minute ago, and now it is a 34-14 Riverhawks advantage here with 5 seconds before the halftime break.
So they're able to capitalize there. It was, minute 8 when they got the ball, and 5 seconds left on the clock. So nice minute 3 drive there to put some more points on the board. And I believe Armstrong gets the ball to start the second half. So that's big right there. They score a touchdown, and then they'll
Yeah, because I think
start the second half.
if I'm not mistaken, I brought up Tanner Stockdale with the opening kickoff there, and that would mean that the Riverhawks do get the ball to start the second half. So again, a double whammy for Freeport, giving up a touchdown with just 5 seconds left right there, and Armstrong will get it to begin the third quarter. And make sure, again, you stay tuned for halftime. We're going to have a presentation of both bands, again, presented by Douglas Insurance right here in Sarver and Olson Chiropractic located in West Katanning. So Armstrong, you going to squib here?
I don't know. I mean, I probably would, but looks like Freeport's got a couple new guys back deep. Vinny Clark's in the middle, flanked by Brady Stuyvesant and Brady Sullivan.
Sort of a squib of sorts. This one just laid on, and that's where that was Brady Stuyvesant able to stop that one like a middle infielder and kind of just lay on it. And
I think Freeport's just looking here, get to the half, and hopefully get some fluid in some guys and try to get healthy here second half and battle to the end then.
Pickle juice, Pedialyte, you name it. Maybe anything's going to be used in that locker room during halftime to get these guys a little bit more ready for the second half. Just so many stoppages due to cramps here so far.
Aiden Olson in on defense. The Hail Mary play.
Yeah, sort of like a.
Maybe looking for.
Yep.
He takes a knee. Low snap and he takes a knee. King does.
And that will do it for halftime here at Freeport Junior Senior High School on HTSN's presentation of WPIAL football in the Sprankles neighborhood game night. It is the Armstrong Riverhawks 34, the Freeport Yellowjackets 14. Stay tuned for halftime here at Freeport Junior Senior High School.
Nice meeting you guys. Hope everything goes good. We'll see you next week. See you guys. Oh, you're not going to
Now, ladies and gentlemen, sit back, relax, and enjoy the popular piano music this evening as the Armstrong Riverhawks marching band appears to be ready for their halftime performance. Drum major, Elemental, is your band ready? Armstrong Riverhawks marching band, the field is yours for performance.
show this evening is a Riverhawks project in the forms of a lovely man-made ovens with some famous compositions of the birds.
First, the band is performing a timeless hit covered by pop and country music stars alike, and one of Dolly's most famous by far, Jolene.
Protecting the things you love and how you do so is among the most important decisions you'll ever have to make. TGIF Solutions can provide you with the peace of mind by supplying answers to all of your insurance needs, whether it be home, auto, business, life, or farm coverage. Contact the team at the Shellhammer Atwood Agency today in West Katanning to be sure that you, your loved ones, and the things that matter most stay safe when it matters the most. TGIF Solutions, insurance for what matters.
Just finishing up a 100% outside renovation project at the Katanning store. Don't miss out. Come and see us. Check out our Pennsylvania skill game room. We have the newest machines, the newest games. We have 5 machines. We're about to add a 6th machine. $10,000 jackpots on all 6 machines. Don't miss out on a chance to win. We have the lowest possible prices and the best quality of anybody in the area. We'll take it up against anybody in the area. We put our stamp of approval, hashtag Sable Meat, on every single package, and we're here to serve you every single day. We also have chef-prepared, chef-quality prepared sushi, everyday fresh, and Sushi Wednesday, $5 sushi rolls, and you can win by liking and sharing our favorite page, Sushi Madness shirt. Don't forget to check out our millions of bakery deli products that we're making fresh every day. Appreciate all the support out there. We can't do what we do without you. Come and see us.
Shop and Save at Franklin Village is a family-owned, community-dedicated supermarket with a wide variety of quality food and friendly personnel to make your shopping experience easy. Stop by their award-winning butcher shop where you'll find the freshest cuts of USDA-inspected beef, pork, and poultry. Head to the bakery for the freshest bread and rolls, and don't forget to stop by the deli for an excellent selection of cold cuts, meats, cheeses, and prepared foods like their fantastic fried chicken. That's Shop and Save at Franklin Village.
Protecting the things you love and how you do so is among the most important decisions you'll ever have to make. TGIF Solutions can provide you with the peace of mind by supplying answers to all of your insurance needs, whether it be home, auto, business, life, or farm coverage. Contact the team at the Shellhammer Atwood Agency today in West Katanning to be sure that you, your loved ones, and the things that matter most stay safe when it matters the most. TGIF Solutions, insurance for what matters.
Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop is the official clother of High Top Sports Network and is a family-owned company that can handle all your custom embroidery, custom sign, and laser engraving needs. Located at 409 4th Street in downtown Fort City, Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop can create sports and career apparel to the exact specifications of your organization. Their laser engraving department can put your logo or design on glasses, tumblers, insulated cups, signs, coffee cups, and more. Call Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop at 724-763-2461 today.
With over 40 years of experience, the fine folks at Steffi's Country Catering in Adrian can provide you with several scrumptious options for your next family gathering, corporate event, or tailgate. Make sure to try one of their custom meat and cheese trays or pick up a delicious Sunday takeout special. Steffi's Country Catering is a Leader Times Silver Best of winner 3 years running. And as the holidays approach, get back to celebrating with friends and family and leave the cooking to Steffi's. Sugar Rush Cupcakes by Tara are available by order. That's Steffi's Country Catering. Find them on Facebook.
And welcome back to High Top Sports Network. Here, about to get the second half kicked off on this Spraggles Neighborhood game night here on High Top Sports Network. Just trying to make sure we get our scoreboard back up there for you. We had to give you a little bit of taste of the bands for a little bit of a break while we stood outside and realized that we weren't dying. So nice to watch the bands, catch our breath, and dissect a little bit of what we saw there in the first half. Like I said before, we really signed off there, Wayne. A 14-14 game. It seemed like an evenly matched little battle to that point, and then Armstrong able to storm ahead and score 20 unanswered there.
Yeah, like we said, Freeport wanted to get the ball in Lane's hands, a playmaker. He returns the long kick for a touchdown. He comes in quarterback a little bit and leads them on another touchdown drive. So he's been a big part of their 2 touchdown drives. For the Riverhawks, Caden Olson, 205 yards passing in the first half. You know, that's who we talked about making them go there in the first half. Shuttlesworth, 4 catches, 134 yards.
Wow.
So big one there. And running the ball, Patton was the top running back, 9 carries for 50 yards. Like I said, when the pile is moving, it's moving forward for him. He's not getting knocked backwards too much.
A quiet 50 yards. I have to say there for Pat, and I agree with you. We were talking about some of the standout performers there in the first half, and just his running style's ability to kind of run downhill, hit the hole, and really not, hesitate very much. You see guys want to be shifty. You see guys want to play that Le'Veon Bell-esque role as a running back, but Patton just a grinder, just taking the ball right up the gut. And as you said there, 4 carries. But the big thing you said there, Shuttleworth, really being a nice cushion and a nice blanket for Caden Olson. We talked about him needing to be that this year for Caden Olson after many of his big targets last year, big receiving targets, graduated. So Shuttleworth really picking up the slack in that department. That's great to see for the Riverhawks. As for the Yellowjackets, you see some cramps, you see some penalties. It's just been kind of a mixed bag for them, and the results, especially the latter part of that second quarter, kind of shedding a light on that.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see how they respond here in the second half. Like I said, this week, next week going to Knock, a couple big ones to get them ready for section play. So I'm sure the big thing is turning around in the second half and staying injury-free. Those are the big things that I'm sure Coach Gaylot's looking forward to. As maybe goals for the second half. Play better and stay injury-free, because in a couple weeks, that's when the games really start counting.
Absolutely, Wayne. That's really well said, and I think that's the coaching you kind of speak in there. You know that those section games are so much more important. Not that this game is not. It doesn't come with importance, but those section games are really where are the games that you look back and you remember years from now and how you fared in the section and where you finish in that section. And so you want to get out of a game like this, as you said, as unscathed as possible.
Definitely.
So the Riverhawks will receive the second half kickoff. Vinny Clark, who has had a couple booming kickoffs so far, coming up on the ball now. He gets this one up. It's probably the shortest of the day.
Looks like he literally got a cramp as he kicked it.
Yeah. His plant foot. Ball bounces the 15. Shuttleworth able to bring it out to about the 34-yard line. That's where Olson and company will take over. And you're exactly right. It looks like Vinny Clark, that plant leg, as soon as he put it on the ground, you just saw him kind of fall. And that's just going to be a theme. No matter how much water and no matter how how much hydration these players took advantage of during the halftime break. It's just pretty warm out there, and if you saw in the first half, we're probably going to see a little bit of it here in the second as well.
Definitely, and the crazy thing, it looks like they're literally stretching both legs. So it looks like you may have cramped in both legs.
Yeah, just another one of those things that have just been a theme here tonight. We talked about so many themes throughout this game. The pass rush for both teams. Right there, Vinnie Clark, both legs, just unable to walk off. We're not going to see that in October probably, Wayne.
No, definitely not.
When we're sitting in this booth here, it's going to be a lot cooler up here, and not so many guys are going to be carried off the field because of cramps. But good to see Vinnie. And good to know that these injuries aren't anything more serious than a cramp.
Definitely.
And you can kind of see that whenever these guys are try to stretch it out or get off the field. So certainly takes a little bit away from the game because you want to see the best at their best. Saw Ben Lane, Vinnie actually getting carted off there, probably just to maybe go get some hydration or something. But back to the action here. Caden Olson, first drive of the second half, is going to hand it off. Gets past one tackler, does number 22. That's Caleb Retzer. And able to get out to about the 37-yard line where he's wrapped up by a couple Yellow Jackets, one of which it looked like Ben Lane was in there along with number 8, Garrett King. Bring up a second, and we'll say about 2 or 3. So I'm going to say 3.
Trips way down here to the bottom of the formation for Armstrong.
Snap to Olson, pump fake. He's going to air this one out. It's got the distance, thrown on a dunk, but dropped. What a pass by Caden Olson. Couldn't have been better. But number 48 for the Riverhawks, that, of course, is Lane Hepner, unable to bring that one in, but what a dart by Caden Olson, throwing that from the 30. That one came down around the 25, maybe 20-yard line there, Wade. Maybe a 45, 50-yard dart.
Yeah, ran right by the defender there, Gavin Croney, and was wide open. Probably a touchdown catch if he catches it, and unfortunately dropped the ball there. Penalty flag on the play, a personal foul against Freeport, it looks like.
Penalties.
Hands to the face.
And unfortunately, we don't have that number in front of us, Wayne, but that's going to be a number I want to look back after this one's all done to see what the difference was between these two teams in just total penalty yards. You got to imagine that Freeport's winning that battle, and it's a battle they don't want to be winning at this point. But another one there, and that will put the Riverhawks around midfield, say the 49-yard line here with fresh set of downs. So a mental mistake there by the Jackets. Now Olson will shuffle his offense, send 3 to the bottom, 1 to the top.
No big govern Brown. Oh, they're waiting to get it set. So
the Isaiah Brown at the top of your screen there by himself. One-on-one coverage. Wouldn't be surprised if we see Olson look that direction here right away. He does indeed. Gets through the pressure, but their first set of pressure, but then brought down by a combination of Jackets. Number 11 and looked like number 6, Charlton. I think Charlton was the first one there. Right, Wayne?
Yep, yeah, and 11, Andrew Sullivan. Those are two seniors leading the defense.
So that pressure we saw from the Yellow Jackets defense early on in this contest.
It's like Lane's cramping and getting off the field. Late substitution defensively for the Jackets.
Some sore calves tomorrow, Wayne. Olson taking his time looking to the sideline for an audible. Takes a couple steps back. 2 receivers at the top, 1 to the bottom. Fakes the handoff. Small pump fake. Throws a little short pass there to Isaiah Brown, but met immediately there by number 4, Gavin Croney.
Croney, good job coming up there, filling in and sticking it to Brown.
So it looked like a loss there. This will set up a 3rd and 18. Good job by Freeport to kind of emulate what we saw from them early on in this game with that pass rush and just getting pressure on Olson. Here's a screen. He gets it off to Retzer. Retzer breaks a tackle. He's going to keep going. He's got space. He's got men out ahead, but then finally brought down around the 30-yard line. Great job of following the blocking there was Caleb Retzer.
Made a couple guys miss, broke a couple arm tackles, and made a nice play there. Thought actually it was going to go a little more out of it once he got it going there. Had some linemen out ahead of him.
And that's another thing that I don't think we pointed out enough here tonight, the job of the offensive lineman for Armstrong on these short passes, whether they be screens or just throws out in the flat, to get downfield and do a good job blocking downfield. We've seen that a lot from Armstrong, particularly on that play and also with that Shuttleworth play where he took it to the house. Here's a fake pitch. Olsen's going to fade back, throw a little lob to Shuttleworth, who brings it in around the 4-yard line. They're going to mark him down around the 2. Another nice play by Noah Shuttleworth, adding to his totals, and an impressive start to the season for that young man.
Perfect placement on the ball there. And Shuttleworth went up and got it. Brady Stuyvesant with the tackle, like you said, about the 2-yard line. So we'll see. They try to power this in here if they go for a little pass.
You got to think that maybe they are, because back next to Olsen is Patton. Seen him plunge forward on a couple occasions. Olsen going to roll out to his right instead, look to throw it. Throws in the back of the end zone. This one almost picked off. The intended receiver there, I believe, was Segola. That is number 2. Hard to see from my angle. Yes, it is. And Segola had to kind of turn into a de facto defensive back there as that ball, or Olsen was pressured and really couldn't get as much mustard on that one.
Brady Stuyvesant with the pass break up there. Nice play defensively.
We've seen him all over the place in the secondary for these Yellowjackets, have we, with Stuyvesant. Another nice play there. Saw him defend Isaiah Brown earlier on, and now Crony at the top of your screen going to be tasked with that. Won't be surprised if you see a fade here. So much space between where Isaiah Brown is and the line. There's Lyman. Might just see a quick 2-step drop. Nope. Instead, they're going to hand it off to their bullying running back, Alex Patton, and he's in there for another touchdown. Riverhawks begin this second half like they finished the first with a touchdown to make it 40-14.
He might get a new nickname, General Patton there.
Right? Well,
powerful run.
It takes guys like us to get one started like that. Maybe they'll have to catch on. We'll have to ask him. Ask him if it's working. He's going to school and people are noticing.
Once again, similar run, power right up the middle, just running over a defender that was in his way and bulldozing into the end zone.
So 8:39 left here. The UFP extra point up and good to make it a 41-14 game here at Freeport Junior Senior High School. The Riverhawks now, Wayne, I'm bad at math. What's 41 minus 14? Quickly.
27.
There you go. 27 unanswered for the Riverhawks here after a 14-all game. And, not to repeat myself, but it seemed like just a very evenly fought match to that point. But the Riverhawks finding an extra gear and showing it on the scoreboard, now leading 41-14. And while we have one brief moment, I'd like to thank another one of our tremendous sponsors, and that is tonight's scoreboard sponsor, the folks at TGIF Solutions. TGIF Solutions, the official social media sponsor of High Top Sports Network and the home of the Shellhammer Atwood Agency, is proud to be tonight's official scoreboard sponsor. The experienced professionals at TGIF Solutions can assist you and your loved ones with any insurance need, big or small. TGIF Solutions specializes in all types of insurance: auto, home, family, business, farm, and commercial. Visit them online at tgif.solutions to get your personalized quote today. TGIF Solutions, insurance for what matters. Thanks to Brett Colby and all the wonderful people over at Shellhammer Atwood and Associates. You kick off here. A boomer for the Riverhawks, camped under and brought in. Cutting outside there is number 10, trying to get my roster back.
I think that's Brady Sullivan.
Yeah, Brady Sullivan making a couple moves to bring that one out to about the 26-yard line, and that's where Garrett King and the Freeport offense will take back over for their first possession here of the second half. And I should point out here, Wayne, look at that clock. That's the one thing that you think that the Yellowjackets really wanted to do coming into this game, kill clock. And you saw 8 minutes and 31 seconds come off the clock there. Just a clock eater of a drive there for the Riverhawks.
Definitely. We talked about it early on. We thought maybe that'd be something the Jackets were trying to do. And Armstrong, quick strike maybe, and a couple of long plays, gets it right down there, puts on the board. So let's see how the Jackets respond here.
King in the shotgun. Bunch to his left, man in motion. That's Lane. He's going to get the handoff, cut it outside, make a man miss, try to get the edge. He does. Then he fumbles the ball, luckily out of bounds for the Yellowjackets. So dodging a bullet there was Lane, and that will be enough for a first down.
Looks like 57 Mason Lowe's in at center for the Jackets. Shuffling the line once again. And another Yellow Jacket down on the play over there on the far sideline. I can't see. Is it Lane again?
I believe so. I have to wonder if there's just a point in time where some of these guys that are really experiencing these severe cramps can really just get through this one. It just seems like it's I don't know. It's just a difficult position to be in as a coach, as a player. You know, you want to keep playing. It's the season opener. You know, I know these guys are probably really riled up for Garrett King and being a part of this game with him. But, man, oh, man, the number of injuries and cramps that we've seen here tonight, seriously, I would say surpasses all that I saw of or the total last year throughout the 10 games, or not even a 10-game season, but about, 6, 7 games?
Right. Unfortunately for Freeport fans, we've seen a lot of Bill Siegel, the athletic trainer, out there on the field.
Yes,
I don't
this
think
is true.
he wanted to make the camera as much as he is tonight, but he's been out there an awful lot for the Jackets.
That's funny. Well,
him and Garrett King's dad, Sean, he's helping out as a trainer there. They're both out there taking care of all these guys with cramps.
The camera catching him, though, he's making a heck of a case to get a raise. At this point, what better way than to take this High Top Sports Network broadcast right back to your bosses and be like, did you see what I was doing on a Friday night?
Exactly. He's also the librarian and social studies teacher at the high school. So,
a couple updates for you. End of the third quarter between Kiski and Butler. The Cavaliers shutting out the Golden Tornado 14-0, and a final between Central Valley and Knock. The Central Valley able to go on the road and defeat the Knock Knights 62-0. So a tough start for the Knock Knights there, and Kiski looking to hold on here for one more quarter to defeat D10's Butler. Little toss outside and brought down in the backfield. There was number 1. That is, of course, Zach Clark.
Riverhawks flying to the ball right now. You could just see the excitement on their side of the ball, you know, attacking it defensively, going after the guys.
So a 2nd and 14, 7:38 remaining here, third quarter. Things kind of moving along quicker in this quarter than certainly the first two. And here's King. He's going to keep this one, try to get towards the lead stick and maybe get back to the original line of scrimmage, maybe a yard short, set up a third and still very long official timeout.
Down.
At what point do you find a different solution than what we're doing here? We're going to have this after every play, it feels like, at this point.
It's tough. Like you said, you know, these hot, humid nights.
Yeah, just not able to catch a break here. Like Todd Harvey was even chipping in over there, the Armstrong athletic director / trainer, lending his help. You know what, though? The wonderful thing about these stoppages is they give us an opportunity to thank another one of our terrific sponsors. And that, of course, is Franklin Village Shop and Save. Football season is here, and Shop and Save at Franklin Village has everything you need to put together a perfect Friday night tailgate. And make sure you check out their weekly specials, and make sure to check out the Butcher Shop, or you can visit Shop and Save's fantastic deli for a custom meat and cheese tray. Shop and Save, Franklin Village, family-owned and community dedicated, and here to help you with all of your tailgate needs. Give them a call today to see all they have to offer at 724-543-6389. Also, too, I'd like to take an opportunity to thank our friends at Ryan Bowser State Farm, today's Red Zone sponsor. I haven't had a chance to slipping my mind here. I apologize that every time the team's in the Red Zone, that's sponsored by Ryan Bowser, the terrific State Farm agent out of Ford City. Buckle up with State Farm to find auto insurance that fits you and your family's needs. Agent Ryan Bowser can assist you with all of your auto insurance needs, from collision and comprehensive to rental and rideshare. State Farm is the largest auto insurance provider in the United States, and Ryan Bowser can help you find the plan that's right for you and your family. Contact Ryan Bowser today at 724-763-9331. Ryan Bowser, State Farm.
Ben Lane at quarterback for the Jackets, as Garrett King was one of the guys down with cramps, along with Parker Lucas.
Lane trying to scramble around. He does, making some nice moves there. Past the line of scrimmage, diving forward, fumbles it out of bounds around on the 50-yard line. But
and
what?
He is down. Like you said, this seems to be in every
play thing.
How many running the ball seems to cramp up when they get hit.
At this rate, we're going to be here until I better check the broadcast to see what time it's due to end. Might have to edit that up here. Due to end at 11 o'clock. That might be short shifting ourselves a little bit there, Wayne. Maybe I need to turn it to midnight.
Let's hope not. Hopefully get some water in these guys, get them going.
Yeah, it's just a theme that I've never seen quite to this extent. I mean, you see cramping on warmer nights. I've seen cramping even in some warmer gyms. You always have that gym that they don't do a good job of keeping a good temperature. And nothing quite like this. I would say we've seen probably the better part of 35 cramps.
Yes, definitely. And Armstrong hasn't seemed to have as many as Freeport has.
Yeah, that's what I've noticed too. There's something to be said about that. I don't know what it is, but certainly the fact that it seems that Freeport's being ailed more by this than the Riverhawks has to suggest that maybe just a more emphasis on hydration and getting ready for a game with the humidity like it is here. Luckily, Lane able to walk across on his own power.
4th down for the Jackets. Looks like they're in punt formation.
It looks like they are indeed in punt formation. That will send Noah Shuttleworth deep for the Riverhawks. 7 minutes left here in the third quarter. Bad snap. They're able to track it down, though, as the punter spiral kick down the field. Going to take a generous hop for the Yellowjackets and pin the Riverhawks at their own 11-yard line, and that's where Caden Olson and company will take over with 6:50 remaining here in the third quarter. We're going to take a quick break for Wayne Greiser. My name is Joe Rhodes. We will return after a quick moment.
Protecting the things you love and how you do so is among the most important decisions you'll ever have to make. TGIF Solutions can provide you with the peace of mind by supplying answers to all of your insurance needs, whether it be home, auto, business, life, or farm coverage. Contact the team at the Shellhammer Atwood Agency today in West Katanning to be sure that you, your loved ones, and the things that matter most stay safe when it matters the most. TGIF Solutions, insurance for what matters.
And welcome back. Armstrong with the ball. Caden Olson taking the snap. Quick throw outside, as we've seen them do a little bit here, but a loss looks like on the pass. Looking for, trying to see who that receiver was. Really hard to tell. He's going to be coming off the field. Whoever was looking at number 15. Yep, that would be, I believe, Jack Valasek, his first ever football game. I had a chance to talk to his dad, Ben, as I took a break here between halves, and Ben said his first ever game, and Jack told him this morning, I don't think I've ever been this nervous. And his dad responded with, just get hit once.
Yeah.
And then all those nerves will go away.
Exactly. Gavin Croney did a nice job there, filling that.
We've seen a lot of nice plays out of Croney there in open space, able to wrap some tacklers up. He's been certainly a bright spot for this Freeport defense. Here's a handoff right up the gut. And Retzer able to rumble and stumble up to the 25-yard line for another nice gain. Fresh set of downs now for the Riverhawks, and you can just kind of tell they're the team with a little more the energy, Wayne.
Yeah, definitely. What I've loved about their running backs, no matter who it is, Chrisman, Patton, or Retzer, they're going downhill all the time.
That's a great observation on that draw play. There's Olson. Going to keep this one. Gets away from the first tackler, but now stacked up by a whole swarm of Yellowjackets there, and he'll be brought down around, we'll say the 27-yard line if they give him forward progress.
Looked like number 12, Sean Sellinger, with the initial one starting the tackle there before the swarm joined him.
21, excuse me, on the yard line, about 6 yards off. Olsen will now have two receivers to the bottom of your screen. One at the top, that's Isaiah Brown. In the shotgun, he will remain. Haven't seen him under center really at all. And down he goes again. So another nice pass rush there by the Freeport front. And you know, if they could have kept that going this entire time, we saw it in the first quarter. We're seeing it here in brief spurts in the second half. That was really something that seemed to really confuse that Armstrong offense, not giving Caden Olsen enough time to really set his feet and throw. And it's been the case here of late again. These last couple drives, defensive drives for the Yellowjackets. Now a 3rd and 21 the Riverhawks face. 4 receivers, running back flank to Olsen's right. Gonna fake the handoff, look to throw, throws across the middle, finds Shuttleworth, but kind of gets into his body and then he drops it. And that will bring up a 4th and long, and undoubtedly the punt unit will come on for the Riverhawks. Thank all you folks for tuning in tonight. We appreciate you spending your Friday with us. You know, we had to battle against the Steelers game tonight, but we think we got more entertaining product here for you. So hopefully you're enjoying what you have seen tonight, and we hope to, we look forward to bringing you more games here throughout the 2021 season here on High Top Sports Network. High snap brought in though, punts off, a high kick. It's going to make it out to about the 35-yard line, nearly hitting a Yellowjackets player. Sideways bounce, and it'll come to a rest right around the 37-yard line.
Speaking of the Steelers, hopefully we're a little more entertaining than Bob Pompiani and Charlie Batch in the broadcast.
Shots fired. I like Pomp, just maybe not in a play-by-play role of sorts.
Definitely.
Certainly like him on talk radio and things of the sort, but play-by-play, maybe not Pomp's forte. Still better than a lot of people, though. That's the great thing about Pomp. He can just...
The hair makes it happen.
And that deep vocal cords. Bob Pompiani. We're not all blessed with just deep, gorgeous voices like Pomp. Garrett King, another bobble snap, able to bring this one in, rolling to his right this time. Throw very low there. King had some space and some room and rolling to that right side and still kind of limping himself. You got to know those cramps, they're there. He's just able to kind of probably battle through them a little bit. That stops the incompletion stops the clock at 4:04. 2nd and 10 upcoming, ball at the 38. It's one of the few times tonight that the Yellowjackets have gotten some very favorable field position. See if they can capitalize on that. The offense only generating 1 touchdown to this point, the other touchdown coming from a Ben Lane kickoff return. King with this one, throws it across. Caught and brought down immediately.
22 Jackson Reiser on the reception.
Reiser been a big part of the game plan here today for the Yellowjackets. Nice little play there too. Just let King take a couple steps. Reiser go out and kind of come, turn, face. Just quick plays.
Looking at the offensive line, I think Peyton Westendorf may be the only one in the lineup at the original position he started at line-wise. They've been juggling guys around. Logan Jędrzejewski, I think, is at his 3rd position. So that's something they'll have to battle as well, finding a steady offensive line.
And the pressure of Armstrong just collapsing on King, and it's almost like what you just said, showing its head right there. Unfortunately, a Riverhawk down. I don't think this one's a cramp. Well, maybe it is. That's good to see. Cramp bug finally going the other way. Cherokee Schreckengoss in on the tackle there for the Riverhawks. We say one of the best names we get to cover. Cherokee Schreckengoss.
Reminds me of Cherokee Parks in the old Duke Blue Devils day. Might be the only other Cherokee.
Or the world's greatest pop, Cherokee Red.
My sister-in-law and Tampa, Florida would completely agree with that. She loves Cherokee Red.
Is that just a Western PA thing?
Yes, because she can't get it down there. So
So punt formation, punt off here. And a little squibbler that Shuttleworth will get out of the way of. And again, just, oh man, just the cramps. Just another one there in midfield for the Yellowjackets. And boy, oh boy, it's like you said, I bet you if both coaches had their wish, they could just maybe be willing to just call it one right now and avoid all these cramps. And even the guys that aren't down, you look at some guys just strolling across the field, they got limps. Even the guys that aren't down and grimacing in pain are still being afflicted with these what's the word I'm looking for? What's the old school Western PA term for cramps? My mother used to use it all the time.
not quite sure there. Can't help you out, unfortunately. Sorry.
Hitting a block. The heat's finally getting to me now too, Wayne.
We'll blame it on
Charlie horse.
Week 0.
A Charlie horse. You ever hear that one?
I did, but I thought that's when you got like punched in the leg and got the little.
Oh, that's like a cramp. Or it's like when you give those like knuckles where you just like give one of these things.
Yeah.
Kids still do that?
I'm not sure. Good question.
One of the reasons why our generation maybe wasn't as cool as we thought it was.
41-14, 2:51 to go in the third quarter here. Olsen back out in the shotgun formation.
Yeah, Olsen with 2 receivers, bottom of the screen, Shuttleworth at the top. It looks like Patton flanked to his right. And there's a flag right there. You saw the Armstrong player run on the field last second. And that will draw the flag.
I did get an email today. The junior varsity game between these two teams is canceled for tomorrow. So we'll see maybe if Armstrong starts playing some of the younger guys here in the fourth quarter, or if they continue with some guys trying to get them varsity experience as well to prepare for the rest of the varsity season. Same with Freeport. Fortunately, Freeport's seen a lot of guys playing just due to the cramping issues that they've been having and stuff, getting a lot of guys in and out there. Looks like the ball's on the 3-yard line now for the Riverhawks.
Olsen with a wide set. He's going to throw this one down the field, a little out route, thrown above the head of Connor Segola. Still gave him a chance there. Maybe should have came up with that one, but another nice pass there by Caden Olsen, just unable to come up with it. Was Connor Segola. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 15. Hopefully we'll be able to bring you our post game. That's always our intent here. But with everybody, all these injuries and the heat, and this game probably going a little bit longer. See how that turns out. Little run up the middle there for the Hawks. Bring up a 3rd, and we'll say about a 14. I'll say 3rd and 13.
Is that our boy General Patton on the run there?
It was indeed. You know, he had some nice runs last year for the Riverhawks. Wasn't really the main running back, but you'd see him get some run late in games and made the most of it then. And certainly making the most of his game here tonight. Olsen dropping back, got a little bit of time, throws the dart across the middle, and that's got to be a pass interference flag. And nope. That's
10 Brady Sullivan breaking up the pass there for number 5 Isaiah Brown.
Yeah, ball was on the mark. It looked like the contact kind of came a little early, but again, that's been the theme. It's like if you're going to call that now, then probably better that they didn't, because they've let the guys kind of play the receivers and the guys in the secondary throughout this night, and right there was another case of it.
Exactly. Plus with the score 41-14, they'll keep in their pockets every once in a while.
So the incompletion stops the clock. 4th and 13, 2:02 left. Punt from the back of the end zone upcoming here. Another sky-high punt. It's going to bounce at about the 34, and come to a rest at the 35, and that's where the Yellowjackets will take over once again with terrific field position here to start the next drive. 1:52 remaining. And I'm going to take a quick chance to thank our friends at Sprinkles Neighborhood Market. Hi, Ryan. We know you're watching. Hope you're having a great night. Sprinkles Neighborhood Market, hashtag save on meat. Sushi, we were talking about that before.
Sushi Wednesdays.
How often do you go? You said pretty frequent.
Pretty frequent to the Saxonburg location during the summertime, probably 3 out of the 4 Wednesdays of the month.
You said your daughter's a big fan?
My daughter, my middle daughter, Oakley, has become a huge California Roll fan on Wednesdays.
Here's King with it. Rolls to his right, throw across back to the middle. Nice little design on that play. Caught by number 10, Brady Sullivan, and brought down almost immediately. Nice little gain of 5, we'll say. Set up a 2nd and 5.
Substitution for the Riverhawks there. Number 1, Ian Olson, younger brother of quarterback Caden in the game.
5'11" freshman. We were wondering if we're going to start seeing some guys come in for the Riverhawks with the lead that they have. And to answer your question, Wayne, it appears so. Ian Olson now in, playing a little cornerback, giving a cushion there. And that's going to be him and number 22 in open space. And Olson able to wrap him up. But a nice catch there by number 22, Jackson Reiser. So a fresh set of downs here for the Yellowjackets. That's another number I really like to see at the end of this game. Total number of first downs each team. Yellowjackets seemingly a lot of drives stall before they can really accumulate too many first downs. Ball snapped, dropped again, and just diving on it is King. And we were wondering if that was the center exchange. King's actually getting hit in the hands on a lot of these. Just not able to, I don't know if he's looking up or what the case is, but we've seen that quite a few times here tonight for the Yellowjackets. And as I say that, I'm looking at this Freeport sideline and just limping everywhere. It's both sidelines ultimately, but just so many cramps. It's just amazing to see this number of them.
Definitely, like you said, it's been a high number, and a lot of guys multiple times.
Well, I have a chance too. There's a whistle before the snap. It's a drink break.
End of the third quarter.
Same thing at this point, right?
Exactly.
So after 3 full, it is Armstrong 41, Freeport 14. Just 12 minutes to go in this one at Freeport Junior Senior High School on the kickoff to high school football season, week 0. Start of many wonderful games we'll have here this year on High Top Sports Network. Another wonderful thing that we'll have here on High Top Sports Network, we're just talking about them, Sprinkles Neighborhood Market. Sprinkles Neighborhood Market, located at 151 McKean Street in downtown Katanning, is proud to be tonight's official broadcast sponsor. If you were watching Facebook the other day, Ryan and Colby Owen of TGI Solutions actually had a coin flip to see who got scoreboard and who got broadcast partner. So make sure you check out both of their social media pages, Facebook especially, TGIF Solutions, Shellhammer Agency, and Sprinkles Neighborhood Markets. And they, of course, as I said, was our official broadcast sponsor and a steadfast supporter of Armstrong Athletics. Check out Sprinkles' newly remodeled storefront and stop in for all your favorites, including the freshest cuts of quality meats, a family tradition since 1999. Be sure to stop in on Wednesdays for Sushi Madness. You're just talking about it. Handmade sushi rolls, just $5. And, of course, what do they say? Hashtag
Save on meats.
That's right. 12 minutes remaining. Armstrong leading. There's King dropping back, going to throw it down the field. That's a jump ball and intercepted there by Connor Segola. He might have a little bit of room. There's some blocking out front. He wants to maybe turn this into something. He's got the edge maybe. Past the 50, past the 45, and down at the 43-yard line. Connor Segola with a nice interception and return there for the Riverhawks. What a way to start the 4th and final quarter here for Armstrong. That might just be the final blow that really puts this one out of reach.
like you said, kind of almost like a jump ball. He went up there, got it, and then made a great return. Followed some good blockers there.
Really the latter part of the second quarter and pretty much all of this second half has been all Armstrong. Again, it was a 14-14 game, and then some penalties started coming. The cramps clearly started coming, and this game became rather one-sided quickly. Olsen back on for the Hawks. Throw outside, brought in by Jack Valasek. For a second, it looked like the referee was going to wave that one incomplete, but I think he caught himself quickly instead of doing so. Nice catch there by Valasek. Clock continues to run.
Jackson Reiser on the tackle there. Continuing the battle. Jackets are.
Carry up the middle again. Who else but General Patton? Flag on the play.
Team that Armstrong and Knock both will see in the future. Highlands defeated University Prep 27-0 on the scoreboard tonight.
Wow. Big win for the Rams. So we get you some finals. We got you that final of that Knock Central Valley game, and once we get a final for that Kiski Butler game, we'll be sure to get that information on over to you. Olsen in the gun, fakes the handoff, looking to his left. He's going to aim for the end zone. Back of it, what a ball that was, but unable to corral that one was number 3, John Yancey. What a throw by Caden Olsen.
That was a pretty impressive throw right there. Right on the money, dropped it right over his shoulder in the
Back
corner.
Oof.
Nobody else was getting to it.
And we
Fortunately, dropped by.
We talked
Mr.
about this,
Yancey.
Wayne. You know, this is going to be the big thing for them this year. You know, you can't let passes against some of these quality section opponents like a Highlands. You know, you drop that, you might as well just not even get on the bus. Run up the middle again by Patton, in for the touchdown. That'll make it a 47-14 lead for the Riverhawks, piling on now.
The general for another touchdown.
Oh, yeah. You know, I'm wondering who's going to be our gross embroidery player of the game. They got an awesome little hydro flask, I like to call them. What do you call those little water bottles of this sort?
Hydro flask.
Hydro
yes.
flask. Thank you. That's what I call them too. So we have a neat hydro flask with today's game details on it. And right now, I think General Patton might be the leader in the clubhouse, Wayne.
He is definitely up there for consideration.
The extra point by UFP Parker, up and good. And that will make it a 48-14 Armstrong lead. So we're going to take a quick break while we have an opportunity here on High Top Sports Network's presentation of WPIAL football on this Sprankles Neighborhood Market game night.
Protecting the things you love and how you do so is among the most important decisions you'll ever have to make. TGIF Solutions can provide you with the peace of mind by supplying answers to all of your insurance needs, whether it be home, auto, business, life, or farm coverage. Contact the team at the Shellhammer Atwood Agency today in West Katanning to be sure that you, your loved ones, and the things that matter most stay safe when it matters the most. TGIF Solutions, insurance for what matters.
And welcome back to High Top Sports Network. Learning that the mercy rule is 35 points. So Armstrong with that 2-point conversion earlier, that would, if they would have just gone for an extra point, made it. We would have a running clock here, but instead we're going to get some extra football.
Just more time to hear us on the air.
That's right. Tweet at us at hightop_sports. We'll keep our phones out if there's anything you want us to talk about. Anything at all. Well, maybe not anything. That might get us in trouble, huh, Wayne? Not too much fun.
It may.
Kick taken at about the 12-yard line.
Cyprian Selinger, 44 at the return.
Gets it out to about the 18-yard line. I'm going to say actually 21 where forward progress was stopped, and that's where the Yellowjackets will take over. 10:34 left, fourth quarter. I want to say the humidity's gotten a little bit better, but it's by like a fraction, Wayne. It's still pretty moist up here.
Yes, definitely. You can feel the moisture in the air.
Oh, man.
Oh, looking out there at Freeport, the lineup, we've heard some Steffi catering thing. Steffi's grandson, number 70, Peyton Westendorf, that's a Freeport connection there. His other grandfather, late John Westendorf, played at Georgia Tech, a little football.
All right.
Him and George Novak, the Woodland Hills famous coach, were roommates during their time at Georgia Tech.
So the football runs deep in the Westendorf genes, huh?
It does.
And a whistle there. It looks like a timeout called by the Riverhawks. And you know what timeouts mean? Gives us time to thank some of our wonderful sponsors. And how about Steffi's Country Catering? With over 40 years of experience, Steffi's Country Catering provides sumptuous home-cooked food served by a friendly professional staff to make your next event worry-free. Ask about their grazing tables and 3-tier cheese ball cakes. What's a 3-tier cheese ball cake? Doesn't that just sound amazing? I love cheese, by the way.
It does sound good, but speaking of good, Fred Soilis.
Oh.
Gyros tonight at the girls basketball concession stands were top notch.
Yeah, we had to, not to stop, we stop where we were talking. Is that done now? Is Fred leaving? Oh,
yes.
Unfortunate. I hope Jake DeLuca's not on his way here or he'll be heartbroken.
Sorry, Jake, they were phenomenal.
Oh, unreal.
And sorry, Mr. Steffi, for ruining your catering commercial.
No, check out, I was about to read the Sprankles read there. But the 3-tier cheese ball, we got to look into this. I might just have to buy one this weekend. Be sure to order some homemade cheese balls and try their extra fresh meat and cheese and pickle and olive plates. Of course, you can't forget about the Sugar Rush Cupcakes by Tara. Make sure you call and check them out. Here's the snap. King looking. He's going to air this one out. Probably the furthest pass we've seen on him all day. That was a bomb. But just over the head of the intended target there. First time, like I said, you've really been able to see King show off the gun there, and he certainly gave that one a ride.
Yep, got some air under it, just overthrew number 5, Brady Stevenson.
You a sweet guy, Wayne? Like your sweets?
I do. I've had several of Tara's cupcakes. Sugar Rush, I will tell you, the Oreo cookie flavor is my favorite.
Oh.
She puts an Oreo cookie on the bottom with the white filling, and then sprinkles the top half right on top of the icing on top. Oh, phenomenal.
Oh, man, that should be in the read here.
Highly recommend.
You might have just sold some cupcakes, my man. Here's King keeping it himself, gets out past the 26-yard line where he's brought down immediately there by, looked like, number 78 maybe for the Hawks. That's Rocco Swartz. Another wonderful
great
name.
Football name.
Rocco
right
Swartz. Sounds like an alias I'd have if I ever moved to Albuquerque, New Mexico. King, throw over. Caught. Nice move there. Up past the 40, up past the 45, and down to the 47. Nice quick pass there to number 22, the one and only Jackson Reiser. He's had a nice game. All things considered, I know that the team probably isn't going to be happy with what the end result's going to be here, but Reiser, with a couple nice plays, and we've called his name often for good reason.
Yeah, his dad on the sidelines, linebacker coach now, played at Allegheny, hard-nosed. Jackson's hard-nosed. He'll give you everything he's got on both sides of the ball. He's like 150 pounds soaking wet, and he plays middle linebacker.
Another quick throw, another similar result.
Crony with the catch there,
Yeah.
number 4 for the Jackets.
Not an easy one there, met immediately and kind of grabbed awkwardly and brought down awkwardly. But I'm liking this tempo out of the Yellowjackets. We really haven't seen this yet, this quick passing offense. Looking good right now. They're moving right down the field. 8:58 remaining. As Wayne said, Freeport and Knock will play next week. That'll take place at Knock. These Riverhawks, I think, will, if I'm not mistaken, will play Deer Lakes. To double check that one, but I'm almost certain. King not wanting to go down there. What a ferocious run there by the young quarterback of the Yellowjackets, about 2 yards short of the first down. Clock continuing to roll.
Deer Lakes, they'll be on the Freeport schedule in the future. That's a conference game, big one. I think it's the last game of the year. Kind of one of Freeport's rivals. Kind of play them in every sport, so become the pseudo-rival.
3 receivers to the top, 1 at the bottom. Going to pitch it out here to Brady Sullivan. Sullivan met immediately and wrapped up. A nice tackle there by who else? Alex Patton.
General can do it on defense,
Oh, man.
too. He's just trying to win that MVP award.
He's got to be the leader in the clubhouse.
Just solidifying it with these defensive plays.
7:37, clock rolling here. Freeport moving the ball down the field. A little mix of pass and run. Short passing game boding well for them here.
Jackets ready to punt it here. Speaking of MVP, maybe you could get some Sugar Rush cupcakes for an MVP in a future game.
Oh, now we're talking. And there's a punt off. No one there for the Hawks. This one. And what a stop
Nice
there
play.
at the 1 yard line there. I believe that was number 5, Brady Stuyvesant. Nice play there. He made a beeline. He really wanted that one to stay out of the end zone. He did a heck of a job there, did Brady Stuyvesant.
Cypher and Sellinger, 44 on the punt, I believe. The left-footed action.
Yeah.
You don't see that very often.
No. Trying to think the old Steeler punter was a lefty. Daniel Sepulveda. Remember Daniel Sepulveda? This is probably like 2009, 2008, 2009, 10.
Yep.
Reason I remember that, I met him at Slippery Rock when I was at college there.
Nice.
He gave a speech to the to an organization I belonged to there.
Remember back in the day, the punters and the kickers would kick barefooted?
Yeah, what happened there? Somebody's like, this just isn't going to work.
Yeah.
There's a handoff. Olsen giving it to number 22. That, of course, is Caleb Retzer. He gets out to about the 7 yard line.
I'm surprised to see Olsen out there. Thought maybe we'd see somebody else out there this series, give him some reps.
Yeah, I don't imagine that you're going to see too many passes here from the Riverhawks, although I could be wrong, because that's the other thing. Maybe you want to get him some game reps. It is the first game of the season, but instead they give it off to Retzer once again and met by a pile of Yellowjackets. And, you know, you mentioned this, Wayne, and this is a great observation. No matter who's running the ball for this Armstrong team, they like to run downhill, you know, and you've seen a number of occasions where you're pulling a Yellowjacket behind him right there. In this case, it was Retzer. We saw Patton do it. You know, very physical running here tonight by the Riverhawks, and I'm sure that's something that's going to make Armstrong head coach Frank Fabian very happy when he goes back and watches this tape.
Right. Even Jackson, Chrisman, when he was in the game, all 3 of those running backs have been running downhill. And we do have a new quarterback for Armstrong out there.
Yep, that will be number 18.
Kyan Klein, freshman.
Yep, Kyan Klein in. Hands the ball off. And that was Retzer on the carry.
He's going to be going out of the game, getting another sub in there. In the backfield, too.
And final, Josh Schreckengost, who was on the call tonight for the Kiski-Butler matchup here on High Top Sports Network. The Cavaliers coming out victorious with a 21-7 win over the Golden Tornado. So congratulations to the Cavaliers on finding the win column here in week 0. Here's a handoff again. Kind of a draw. And you mentioned new running back in. I believe this is number, I'm going to say 38, but I'm not sure if that's correct. There isn't a 38 on the roster.
89, but I don't see an 89 on the roster either. So I'm not quite sure who 89 is, but nice run there by number 89.
Yeah, nice run, 89.
That was my number in football.
Really?
I was the last number in the program. There was no single digits when I played either.
Now NFL players can wear them.
Yes.
I like that move.
I do too.
Keeping it here is the quarterback, Kyan Klein. Klein showing off the wheels on that play. In come a
Mass
new
substitution here for Armstrong on the
yeah.
offensive line.
But you know what? I like that. It's getting some run for some of these offensive linemen. It never hurts in a game like this. And almost like you're rolling a hockey line there as those guys were coming in. And, you know, that's the thing about Armstrong. They suffered over the last couple years with size on the offensive line, but looking down at them right now, not looking too shabby as far as size.
Right.
And I know that the team's been really happy with the offseason workout program and the dedication that they saw from guys. So something they didn't have last year. Hand off there, but wrapped up immediately and brought down. I feel really bad we don't have 89's number or name, but he is not on this roster.
58, Paul Maselli with the tackle for the Jackets there. Freshman.
Riverhawks back to the line of scrimmage, 3:42 remaining, 2nd and 12. Ball at the 42-yard line. Klein gets the snap, hands it off. Once again to 89, gets about a yard short. Well, they're going to say he got back to the line of scrimmage, where that will set up a 3rd and 10 for the Riverhawks.
12, Sean Sellinger on the tackle there for the Yellowjackets.
Been able to call his name quite a few times here tonight, too, on the defensive side.
Definitely.
And that's the thing for the Yellowjackets. You can't let this one get to you, too. There were some circumstances here, and I'll tell you what, I would have liked to have seen this game played. Imagine if this happened in, you know, later September when the temperature might not have had the ability to impact things like they have here tonight. You know, you never want to make excuses, but certainly teams that know each other so well and don't get to play each other often, you sure would love to see them maybe play at a time where it's not the 110 dew point humidity.
Exactly.
Run out there on 3rd down for about a gain of 6, and that will bring in the punt unit for the Riverhawks. Clock continuing to roll, 2:31 remaining, 4th quarter. Riverhawks leading handily, 48-14. Two men back for the Yellowjackets. I believe it's Stuyvesant along with number 10, Brady Sullivan.
I think it's Brady squared.
Yep,
Brady
I was going to say.
Brady Sullivan.
2 Bradys are better than one.
And
losing that one, but getting it back.
Do we dare say the Brady Bunch?
The Brady Bunch. That might get we're coming up with nicknames here tonight that I think might actually catch. General Pat and the Brady Bunch. These are clever. These are good. Brady squared. Not bad either. So 2:01 remaining here. And the Yellowjackets will take over.
I'd say a lot of clean uniforms out there, but we're on artificial turf, so everything's clean.
Yeah. They get a little sloppy on a wet night. You can see them kind of get a little colored. And I guess dirty isn't the word, but.
Another great name out there, Phoenix Petrosky.
Yep.
Phoenix.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a couple goodies on both of these rosters. If we had more time, maybe that's what we'll do for postgame. Go over, rank the best names on each roster. Now in at quarterback is number 12. He hands it off to, I believe, not sure who that was, but the quarterback in now, of course, is Sean Sellinger. He handed it off to Brady Sullivan. Save maybe no gain, maybe right back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard. Give him a yard, we'll say. Clock continues to roll. And I think with the backups in and whatnot here, Wayne, I think we can make a pick for player of the game. The gross embroidery player of the game is going to get this awesome hydro flask. Are we going to go with General Patton?
I believe General Patton has won the award.
Alex Patton, or do we go with Noah Shuttleworth, who had a big breakout night and over 100 and some yards here?
Noah did have a great game, but I like General Patton. I like the way he ran the ball. He kind of changed the complexion of the game. Like, Noah had a couple big plays, but I think the constant pounding of the running game and stuff for Armstrong, which we were thinking it was going to be majority of the passing and things like that.
Yeah.
That's why I think pretty impressive performance there by the offensive line and then the running backs. Everything was downhill, including General Patton there getting a couple touchdowns on the board.
So with 50 seconds left, it's safe to say that tonight's gross embroidery player of the game is Alex Patton, number 7 on your roster. And number 1 in his parents' hearts. Final seconds clicking off the clock here. Sellinger rolling out, going to throw on the run. Nice pass there, connecting with Taylor King.
Garrett's younger brother, Taylor, with the catch there. Little round of applause there for Taylor King on the catch.
Taylor just a sophomore. 5'7", 150. See if they can get one more play off here. They will. Going to roll out. Does Sellinger just going to throw this one off his back foot? That one's picked off. And that was number, I believe, 35, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yep. Nick McNeely. No relation to Mr. McNeely.
Or Mr. McFeely.
That too. And that wraps it up here. An interesting game, Wayne. A little bit of everything. We saw some really tremendous defense to start. Good run game for the Riverhawks. A Freeport team that really just never gave up. Just a couple bad penalties there would set them back on and stop good drives. And then, of course, the injury bug, more specifically, these cramps. You didn't get to see the Vinnie Clarks out there. You didn't get to see the Ben Lanes as much as you'd like. Even Garrett King, and what is his return, you saw him hobbled a couple times. So, and bear in mind, too, they were without a couple starters that they really anticipated being a part of this team on this night, week 0, that were not there, injured throughout the summer or in that scrimmage last Saturday. So Freeport really bit by the injury bug overall, both before tonight and tonight. And I really, like I said, I would love to have seen this game maybe in September on a cooler night and more Gatorade flowing.
Definitely. It's a learning experience for both teams, something they'll both build on. You know, Armstrong did a lot of good things, but so did Freeport. You know, like you said, I think the biggest effect for Freeport was, unfortunately, a lot of cramping and stuff, and where Armstrong didn't have that issue a whole lot. And you know, it's the first week, so lots of football still left, lots of meaningful games left for both teams, and they'll both build on. They're both proud programs. Freeport's in their 100th year, starting their 100th year off of football. They'll bounce back. Coaching staff will have them ready.
Yeah, you talk about 100 years. This is only year 7 for Armstrong. So, you know, it's a very different ends of the spectrum, a proud program. Freeport will be just fine. We know what caliber coach John Gaylott is and what this program's made of, the proud traditions around here. And the Yellowjackets will be just fine. A lot of talent on that team. And once they all get healthy and get some more games and practices under their belt, I really expect a lot of good things from this Yellowjackets team. On the other side with the Riverhawks, and again, I want to remind folks, this is the Shellhammer Atwood and Associates, a member of TGIF Solutions, post-game here on High Top Sports Network. But yeah, as for the Riverhawks, a little bit of everything. I think what I said in the pregame about establishing the run game is going to be something they're really going to focus on this year. You know, you don't want to leave it up to Caden Olson all the time and have him have to win you games all the time. And you saw it from General Patton tonight, Alex Patton. You saw Connor Segola get into the run game. You saw Caleb Bretzer get involved as well. So, you know, I think that's going to be a really big thing for the Riverhawks. If they can be consistent on the ground, it's only going to help Caden Olson in that pass game and help some of these young receivers, you know, come along in their varsity careers. As far as the defense for Armstrong, very impressed with the pressure they were able to put on. Really saw some size, just general size from this team that I don't feel like I saw last year. Seemed like that off-season workout program was working over at Armstrong. A team that really battled size issues here over the last few years. So really impressed with their defense, the pass rush they were able to get on Garrett King, and the ability to stop shifty, one of the more elusive guys in Ben Lane that they might see all season. And they really were able to keep a lot of those stalwart players on the Freeport side intact here tonight.
I agree. You know, both, like I said, both teams build on this and move forward, and both will. You know, next week they'll bounce back, and both will be ready for their games next week. Like you said, Armstrong, Deer Lakes, big one for both teams there, and Freeport battling the neighbor Knock. So looking forward to both of those games next week. Both featured on High Top Sports Network too.
Oh yeah, we'll have 3 games next week here on High Top Sports Network on a Friday, and then the following week on September 10th we'll actually feature 4 games. We'll have all the teams that were on our network here tonight The reason we only had 3 games is, of course, Freeport and Armstrong played. If they would have been playing someone else, we would have had 4 games. But luckily, I got to spend some time with you here tonight. Always great to see you, brother.
Good seeing you. Appreciate it.
Enjoy spending time with you and getting to watch some football. It was crazy. I said to my partners, Josh and Jake, here today, I can't believe it's the first week of football already. I feel like I was just sitting in a gym watching basketball season a couple months ago, or traveling with the Armstrong Riverhawk softball team to the state playoffs like Josh and I were so fortunate to be able to do back in the spring. And here we are, August 27th, and football is back. And great first night, and really excited to get to call it with you. And also want to thank Mason Flanagan here tonight, running the camera. You're going to hear Mason. You're going to get to hear Mason here on High Top Sports Network in the coming weeks, and some of our broadcasts we've got going on. We have a great team here. Again, Noah Oliver running around here. Oliver Moments, the photography company, running around taking photos. Make sure you check out hightopsportsnetwork.com to check out Noah's photos. They're great stuff. He does portraits. He does senior photos, engagements, you name it. He's just wonderful at his craft. So make sure you check out High Top Sports Network tomorrow to see some of his photos. They will be up there for purchase. So that will be there. And I would be remiss if I didn't take the opportunity to thank each and every one of our sponsors. Of course, tonight's official scoreboard sponsor, TGIF Solutions, the Shellhammer Atwood Agency. Love those guys so much. Official broadcast partner, Sprankles Neighborhood Market. Our pre-game sponsor, Sprankles. Our halftime sponsor, Olson Chiropractic and Douglas Insurance. Our post-game sponsor, of course, again, TGIF Solutions. The player of the game, which is General Patton. He is sponsored by Gross Embroidery. Our red zone sponsor is Ryan Bowser State Farm. Extra Point, UFP Parker. The opening kickoff, the wonderful Belmont Complex. And the play of the game, we didn't do that, which is Arms Care. Got to give Arms Care some love. The Arms Care play of the game, Wayne.
I think it's got to be the Noah Shuttlesworth reception, long run. I think that's got to be our play of a game.
And I feel awful here now. I should have had a read in here for, there it is. You know what, we're going to do it right now. Stanley's Bar and Grill, that's another one. At 507 4th Avenue in Ford City is a great place to catch the game, meet up with friends, and enjoy a great meal on Friday nights. Make sure you try their hot sausage sandwich. Everybody knows Stanley's hot sausage, the best. And then Manor Township Fire Hall. How could I not forget those folks? They are a proud supporter of Armstrong Athletics and all the teams in Armstrong County, and they would like to wish the Hawks and their fans a safe and successful fall sports season. Stay tuned to Manor Township Volunteer Fire Department Facebook page to keep up to date on all their great fundraisers like ticket sales, gun bashes, roast beef dinners, and more. And then, of course, Arms Care. Our friend Alan over at Arms Care, it's located at 85 Glade Drive in Katanning, provides the highest quality medical equipment, supplies, service to use in your home. After an accident, illness, or surgery, the caring professionals at Arms Care can assist you in getting the appropriate medical equipment into your home where you can make the most progress on your recovery. Arms Care offers 24/7 emergency service as well as a wide variety of specialized medical equipment, and their experienced staff is committed to helping you and your loved ones regain normalcy. So thank you to all of our wonderful sponsors. We are so appreciative of you. We could not do this without you. And again, the last person would like to thank you out there for listening. You have a lot of time in your life to do whatever it is you want. You chose to spend this evening with us, and we could not be more grateful for that. So thank you to everyone that tuned into High Top Sports Network tonight. We sure love bringing you the action, and we hope to get better and better as this year goes on and bring you some more hard-hitting action on the gridiron and on the volleyball court and some other venues throughout. So that about wraps it up. For Mason Flanagan, for Wayne Greiser, my name is Joe Rhodes. We will see you next time here on High Top Sports Network on this TGIF Solutions pregame. We say goodnight and safe travels.